one and all. Welcome to Mingus Marauder Football here on KYBC AM 1600, 96.3 FM, myradioplace.com, and of course, Verde Valley TV, Cable 1, Channel 56, and Sunlink Channel 2. Kyle Benedict along with me, and we made the long trek to Kingman. LeeWilliams, kind of a new competitor, 5-year-old school, second year we're seniors, and the first, or I shall say the newest, competition in the Grand Canyon region.
Yep, the second meeting between these two teams. Beautiful school, man. We pulled up and big LeeWilliams sign in the school, brand new, beautiful. They got the natural grass here tonight, so just an all-around nice school. Pretty quick drive. I mean, it didn't seem quite as long as it maybe is, but nice to be here in Kingman.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, it was a beautiful drive on the way up, and glad that you were along with us. And as we kind of move through this, there's some history to this school that we're going to get into. First of all, LeeWilliams is actually on and is on the campus of the old Kingman High School, and so some of the Mingus Marauder coaches remember playing here against Kingman many years ago, back in the 1970s and 80s, and so just the facility kind of brings back some memories. But there's some significance to the school a little bit as well, and as we move along, we get into our Vinny's pregame report. We're going to kind of tell you a little bit about why they are called the LeeWilliams Volunteers and why that's their mascot. But here tonight, gorgeous view as the sunset hits the mountains out here. The lights start to come on at LeeWilliams School. What's the outlook for weather?
Well, right now we're sitting low 80s, about 83 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, not much wind, so we're going to be hovering around kickoff, around 80 degrees, maybe the upper 70s as this game gets moving along, but not much wind, a little breeze, but beautiful night. Couldn't
have better conditions if it was a domed facility, right?
Right.
No, absolutely. It's going to be beautiful. When the sun goes down, the sun will be out of the eyes of the visitors and the fans coming to support the Mingus Marauders here. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into our Vinny's Pizza pregame report here from LeeWilliams High School, Kingman, Arizona. We'll return after this.
Respected locally, trusted nationally. The Ledbetter Law Firm in Cottonwood has a professional team ready to help with personal injury, corporate law, and real estate. Licensed in multiple states, federal and tribal courts, the Ledbetter Law Firm is experienced in healthcare law, education law, and liquor licenses. Selected by lawyers and judges as one of Arizona's finest law firms, the Ledbetter Law Firm on Main Street in Old Town Cottonwood, online at ledbetterlawaz.com.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
Are you looking for a different approach to healthcare? A place where excellent care is combined with kindness and compassion? If so, welcome to Spectrum. At Spectrum, our approach to healthcare is positively different. From primary care to pediatrics, our staff is dedicated to one thing: you. As a leader in integrated care in Arizona, we treat the whole person because we think everyone deserves to feel better. Spectrum Healthcare, for mind, for body, for all of you.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
Welcome to the Vinny's Pizza pregame report. Call Vinny's now at 646-3333 and have pasta, subs, or a specialty pizza delivered right away. Don't forget the garlic knots and wings. Now let's head back live to the press box for Jackie and Kyle.
A beautiful night here and evening in Kingman, Arizona. And on Verde Valley TV, you can see a gorgeous shot. And we have been to a lot of high schools, Kyle, and this is one of the best backgrounds. Although I have to say, Mingus has a phenomenal background as well. As you take a look at the backdrop of Mingus Union High School. Well, different mountain, different location. The old Kingman High School location. LeeWilliams, the opponent, out here today. And want to thank our friends from Vinny's Pizza who are sponsoring our pregame report. And I'll tell you what, if you are anywhere near a phone, you are really close to dinner here tonight. Really good dinner. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love their Marauder Special at Vinny's Pizza, 646-3333. The Marauder Special, and you're going to get the large one-topping pizza. You're going to get the dozen knots. You're going to get the dozen wings. You're going to get a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi to go along with it. A feast, and you could call now. If you're listening live on KYBC, you could start calling now. Somewhere about the end of the first quarter, you're going to have pizza delivered. Feed the family. Crank up the radio. Listen to Mingus Marauder football. I can't think of any better.
What a night. What a better way to spend your Friday night. I don't think there is.
No, I don't think so either. Glad you are along with us. And LeeWilliams, our opponent here tonight, their mascot, the Volunteers, but that has significance.
Yeah, it really does. On July 5th, for a lot of people who have lived in Arizona for quite some time, they might remember this day. On July 5th, 1973, that was the day a 33,000-gallon tanker car carrying propane exploded. Now, the Volunteers, the LeeWilliams Volunteers, Volunteer Fire Department, in that tragedy on that day, 11 volunteer firefighters died that day trying to put that fire out. A gas company worker died as well, and more than 100 brave people were injured in that tragic day. Now, there is a local connection to that tragedy back to Cottonwood. Former Cottonwood Fire Chief Mike Casson, who we talked about last year, he was on our program when LeeWilliams came to Mingus, and his father was a former fire chief for the Volunteer Kingman Fire Department. He was one of those 11 firefighters killed. Now, they come from now a family of firefighters. Of course, William Casson, who was the dad, who was the former chief, who died on July 5th, 1973. His son, former chief for Cottonwood Fire. Now, Brady Casson is there as well. They have a brother who's also a firefighter. So, really, what a family. I mean, to just... when you have a tragedy like that happen in a community that you're part of, let alone a family member who's part of that, and then to just have generation after generation go into the fire service, it means a lot for that family. And unfortunately, that was a tragic day for Kingman and the state. But Volunteers, that's where the LeeWilliams Volunteers mascot comes from, and what an honor.
Yeah, and I certainly think so. I mean, you have all sorts of different potential mascots out there. This was chosen with meaning, and really appreciate that. I do. So I tip my hat, if I had one, to LeeWilliams High School and the high school system for choosing this.
Yeah, and LeeWilliams was a volunteer firefighter, and he was also the principal of Kingman High School. So there's another connection there. But just a very tough day. But this community really rose up from that and stuck together. And then, of course, that connection with Cottonwood, that family showing their support.
Well, speaking of rising, the LeeWilliams Volunteers, the football squad, last year, first year with seniors, and had some trouble. They played Mingus. Mingus took them down pretty easy, 42-0 last year, and the program is starting to get itself underway. First-year coach Jacob Iadens is taking charge here, and I think he has done a fantastic job. He's got his Volunteers 2-1. They beat Kingman Academy last week, came from behind for a 13-7 victory, and in the first week of the season beat Kingman, and then in between Dysart, who is, by the way, 4-0. According to Max Preps, ranked number 9 in 4A football. They lost to Dysart 26-0. So they're trying to go 3-1 on their home field here tonight. Mingus trying to go 2-2 with a huge victory over the Cactus Cobras last week at home, 35-28. It's been a while since I've been at an exciting game like that.
Yeah, that was an exciting one from the beginning all the way to the end. Mingus looked great. They're looking to carry over that momentum and play with that same level of intensity that we saw last week. You mentioned LeeWilliams 2-1 on the season, off to a great start. The loss at Dysart was tough. Dysart's a good program, as you touched on, but both teams looking to carry momentum into tonight's game.
Well, the Mingus Marauders, in fact, playing the Cobras last week, ended up giving up 2 touchdowns right at the end of the second quarter. And at halftime, it was 21-14 with the Cobras in the lead. But Mingus came back and scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to come from behind to win that game. And it was phenomenal for the Mingus Marauders. Trey Meyer, 3 for 8, 54 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Mingus had 307 yards on the ground against the Cactus Cobras. And for the season, Meyer now goes 11 for 27, 215 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Groth, the leading rusher for Mingus, 44 carries, 322 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mingus almost approaching 700 yards on the ground in the rushing category. For LeeWilliams here in the brief portion of the 2016 season, well, for passing the ball, they're 23 for 47, only 238 yards. And Mazon, the fourth, is got 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Giglio, the leading carrier with 44 carries and 273 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground, and he has got most of the yards of their rushing yards, almost 400 rushing yards, 633 total yards. A lot of returning players for this LeeWilliams squad, which will be interesting. A lot of last year sophomores that are now juniors, and some juniors that are seniors. So they're a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and we'll see how they handled the Mingus Marauders. Obviously a deeper program, more history.
Yeah, well, when you're talking about this being the 5th year of this school, it takes a little bit to get a program going, and you have to have players that have been in the program for a little bit, and now they have that. They have players who have played a new coach. Now, granted, this is a new coach, and sometimes that will kind of light a fire underneath your team, especially if your team's struggling, but we're seeing this year that the guys who have been on this team for a couple years now are really getting things done, taking leadership, and they're starting off 2-1, the season 2-1 for this year. And you got to really like how they're starting this season off, especially with those players who have now been in this system for a little bit. I mean, I went to a school where I was the first graduating class, and the growing pains that come with that, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. You're going into a new school. It's a smaller school, not really maybe the traditions that some of these more established schools have. So you got to build those traditions. You got to build what works for that program, and they're trying to figure that out, and they got a great start to this season, 2-1.
Well, the Vinny's pregame report is going to continue. We're going to take a little bit of break. Remember, 646-3333. Ask for the Marauder special. It can be on its way to your door as you continue to enjoy Mingus Marauder football here on Verde Valley TV and KYBC.
Since 1993, Rice Accounting has been assisting Verde Valley residents with their tax returns. A proud part of the National Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Rice Accounting can prepare all state and federal returns. They can file electronically or prepare paper returns. They're open year-round to assist you with personal and business taxes, quarterlies, payroll, and account services.
Please come on in to Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We're open year-round for all of your taxing needs. Thank you.
You'll get more miles for your money at Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. It starts with matching the right tire for you, your vehicle, and driving habits. And continues with expert brake, alignment, and warranty services to extend the life and performance of your vehicle. And to serve you better, we now offer King Cobra custom exhaust systems. Find out more about our nationwide warranty at Reese'sTire.com.
Cheerleading, tumbling, gymnastics.
We are Flip City Gym.
We have classes for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels.
Flip City Gym offers competitive co-ed cheerleading with world champion coaches.
Ask about tumbling and gymnastics.
Or our health and fitness-based academic preschool.
The only one of its kind in Northern Arizona.
Enjoy open gym Fridays and Saturdays. Stop by for your free class or find out more at flipcitygym.org.
They're here. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General 4, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, connecting you like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Cottonwood Motorsports, located on Route 260 and Western Drive.
The Mingus Marauders returning to the field out of the locker room, getting ready for tonight's matchup as they take on the 1-2 Mingus Marauders, take on the 2-1 LeeWilliams Volunteers. And this is the first section game, which will be highly important as the Vinny's pregame report continues out here. Hey, did you do your pick'ems? Did you do your Cliff Castle Casino pick'ems on myradioplace.com?
You know, last week I wasn't too happy with how I did last week, but it was a blast playing, and yeah, I got them all taken care of.
No, I like the standings part. I didn't like the goose egg next to my secret identity, but I like the standings part. That's fun. If you haven't gone on, you can do so. There are weekly prizes available at myradioplace.com. Look for the Cliff Castle Casino NFL Pick'em contest. You can play once on the Q side and once on KVRD side, so you can go both directions and play both ways with two different identities.
Yeah, if you're not sure about one matchup, pick this winner one and the next one. I might have done that the first week, but
stop
like I said, it was not a good week for me on either station.
LeeWilliams Volunteers out there in their red shirts and the black pants. Well, they're just getting ready to come back out on the field. Let's take a look at Mingus Marauder Sports coming up this week, as there are all sorts of fun things going on. You got youth football going on. Volleyball is at Bradshaw on September 20th. Golf is at Anthem at the multi-meet and the 22nd. You got volleyball at Prescott, JV football at Mojave. We're going to take a quick little break, and when we return, we'll be back here at LeeWilliams High School.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. If you're on the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find their selection extensive and their sales team professional and courteous. You can also count on excellent after-sales service. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet on Highway 260 next to Walmart in Cottonwood.
Our whole team is here to help you get the most out of each workout.
Here at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
This has been the Vinny's New York Chef Pizza pregame report. Call Vinny's now at 646-3333 for pickup or delivery and have delicious pasta, subs, or a specialty pizza ready to go by game time. Vinny's Pizza, located at 516 East State Route 89A in Cottonwood, will return for kickoff right after this.
awesome rendition of our national anthem here at LeeWilliams High School. As it appears, somebody from the choir here from LeeWilliams honoring our nation. And prior to that, we want to, for those at Verde Valley, watching Verde Valley TV, we want to have you watch this, because there was the wagon pulled out with the fireman's helmet and the entire football team following behind the wagon. So we were talking earlier in the Vinny's pregame report that they take their mascot seriously. And, you know, I just absolutely love it. It means something. It means something to this community. It means something to the school. And we're glad that we can actually share it with you so that it can mean something to you as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, just watching that that wonderful ceremony there at the beginning of before the national anthem really just solidifies what that day in 1973 means to this community, and the fact that it just still means so much, and it's just like it was yesterday for a lot of people around here. Of course, as you mentioned, the LeeWilliams Volunteers, that they will be able to honor that that day and those brave men and women who lost their lives in honor for forever here. I mean, LeeWilliams Volunteers, great to see that. And they during the national anthem leave the wagon out there on the field as a representation. So tremendous, as we've got about a half a crowd out here today. The Mingus Marauders, looks like Pollock, McClanahan, Groth will be captains for the Mingus Marauders out there here today. And see if we can catch the other number. Oh, that looks like Streck out there. No, it isn't. That is Justin Link will be the other captain for the Mingus Marauders. Hey, we actually have AIA officials here today. The referee, Mike Edwards, umpire Chuck Reyes, lineman Guy Regan, and the line judge, Don Arsenault. And the back judge, who we have to make sure that we get this correct, is Bobby Lasco. And the reason being is he actually offered us TV timeouts, which is, you know, right now Ryan's back in the truck going, I got to write that down. TV timeouts is an opportunity. Mingus Marauders coming out here today offensively. Trevor Galloway is only going to go defense here today, and Gabe Myers will get an opportunity to start at left tackle. The offensive line for Mingus, Jordan Taylor at left guard, Jordan Vincent at center, Charles Hardy will play right guard, Carter Scott at right tackle, Justin Link and Jordan Pollock will be the wideouts, Ruiz and Stabreth will be the wings, Trey Meyer at the quarterback position, and Groth the starting fullback for the Mingus Marauders. Defensively, safety position, Chaz Taylor, the sophomore. Pacheco will be one of the quarterbacks, Colby Fanning, another sophomore, the other cornerback. Going across the way left to right for the linebackers position, Ruiz, Nelson, and looks like Vincent's going to be the middle linebacker here today. Streck playing kind of a strong safety, Sam linebacker, Stabreth the other one, and at nose guard today, Stephen McClanahan, Josh Gelf, and Trevor Galloway will play the other defensive end. So that'll be how the Mingus Marauders will line up here today to start this one here at LeeWilliams High School. It should be a good one as the squads come out. Mingus is going to be receiving on the left-hand side. If you're listening to the radio, they will go from left to right across your radio dial. Taking a look at the deep end for the Mingus Marauders, it looks like it's going to be Nelson on one side and Chaz Taylor on the other, and we're getting ready to play football out here. Now, interesting, I have seen this so many times. Look at the formation. The Volunteers come out. They will kick off from the near hash mark. They have 5 men on both sides of the ball. So you have 5 men between the hash mark and the sideline, which isn't an awful lot of room. And then they leave the far side of the field pretty much open. Well, the back judge has the arm up. We're ready to go as the Volunteers spread out, but they only go just to the far hash mark. There's the kickoff. A pretty decent kick. It'll come down to the near side. Mingus will take it about the 15, cut across the middle, break a tackle, and into the open area, and then loses the football. Gets hit hard, and the Volunteers are excited. They think they've got that ball out there, and the referees agree. Coming up with the ball from the bottom of the pile, number 6 for the LeeWilliams Volunteers. That's going to be number 6, Aaron Santos, sophomore. He's a receiver for this team, and you saw the Marauders were really that was Alex Nelson just trying to do all that he could to pick up as much on that return. We saw him break a couple of tackles, ran through a guy, and was just running a little bit too hard, got the ball stripped out there, but you love that intensity. But a nice play by number 6, Aaron Santos for LeeWilliams.
So actually, the Volunteers will get a start at quarterback. Daniel Marzno the fourth is in a shotgun. He'll hand it off, coming to the left-hand side, cutting his way through, and picking up a first down and more. Stabrith finally picks him up and tackles him, but not until a gain of about 12 on the run. And it looked like number 12 running the ball, starting to run the ball for the Volunteers.
Yeah, I believe that was number 16, actually,
There we
Andrew
go.
Davis. He's their leading running back, 40 carries on the season, 120 yards. He's got 1 touchdown so far this season, and a nice hard run there to start out this one for LeeWilliams.
Just outside the red zone, the ball at the 23. They will hand off again. This time Nelson comes in and pops him behind the line of scrimmage, and a tackle for loss. And somehow I think Nelson got back in there and was given an agenda.
Right, it looked like he had purpose behind that hit. He was in the backfield quick and stood up the running back right before he could get to the line of scrimmage. You got to think he had a little chip on his shoulder with that one after having the ball on the opening kickoff return stripped out of his hands.
2nd and 12, the ball at the 25. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Quarterback takes the snap. He's got time. Throws to the near side. It's picked off. The Mingus Marauders coming the other way past the 40 and out of bounds just past the 50-yard line. And Ruiz with the interception gets the ball back for the Mingus Marauders. First pass attempt for the Volunteers ends up going to the Marauders as he cuts up underneath the ball, just not thrown deep enough, but a great read.
Yeah, and you know, it's hard to tell, but that ball might have been tipped by a Marauder in the backfield, but he was aiming for number 22, Justin Sturgill Jr., and it was just underthrown. It looked like it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but again, the Marauders getting the ball right back.
Here comes Mingus, the ball at the 48-yard line. And so we're going to start this one off with 2 quick turnovers. A turnover on the kickoff return and then a turnover interception, and the pitch goes to the outside. Stabrith avoids 1, picks up about 3 yards, gets past the 50 into Volunteer territory, and is dropped for about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, they were trying to do that pitch to the outside. He had 1 block on the outside by a receiver, but just too much, just following the flow of the play for LeeWilliams, and they were over on that side and prevented more than a 2-yard gain for the Marauders.
2nd and 8 or 2nd and 7, and here comes Mingus. They will hand it up off the middle, and Growth is stumbling and cruising. He'll take a cutback. He's at the 10 and then tripped up just outside the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him down at about the 14, and Growth just spurts through the middle. Great blocking, and Mingus with a big first down.
Yeah, Growth picking up just where he left off last week. I mean, he got right up to the line of scrimmage when he received the handoff, just kind of stood there and followed his offensive lineman, and then once he saw that hole, he cut it out and was gone, and then he made a couple nice cuts downfield for a really nice game for the Marauders.
36 yards on the rumble for Mingus, and they will hand it off to him again. This one not quite as successful, as he will dive forward for about another 2. Just underway, 9:40 left to go in the first quarter. Mingus inside the red zone and putting pressure on, trying to score.
He talked about Growth in pregame, 322 yards on the season, and that's in 2 games. He's been running the ball very well in those 2 games, especially last week against Cactus.
Really, it was 5 quarters, being honest. There's the pitch, near side. Ruiz has a man to beat, and he tries to cut up underneath him. He'll pick up another 3, bringing up about a 3rd and, we'll call it 3rd and 4.
Michael Bathauer, number 44, one of the defensive linemen and linebacker. He plays both positions from time to time, but Bathauer was one of the LeeWilliams Volunteers that were in on that tackle, and he was just trying to get to his trying to get to his block on the outside, but he wasn't able to get there, and he was brought down by the Volunteers.
Sizable defensive line here for the Volunteers. Myers over center, takes the snap, hands off. No, he pitches to the outside. Ruiz, it's a race to the corner, and he's going to win. The Mingus Marauders score from about 5 yards out, but a flag on the field near side as the flag comes out at about the 8-yard line. So we'll see if the points stay on the board for the Mingus Marauders with 8:32 left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, very nice fake there by Meyer before pitching it out to Ruiz. Unfortunately, a flag, and it looks like it's going to go against LeeWilliams.
It appears as though it is going to be a call against LeeWilliams. And that is, well, that's going to put the points on the board, I believe. Yep, the points are on the board. Mingus should be setting up for an extra point, I think. Looks like Taylor will hold as Meyer looks to kick. So they're coming over to explain it to the Volunteers side as to what the penalty was. So it's going to go up on the board. Ruiz with a 5-yard touchdown run as he picks up the first point for the Mingus Marauders in this one.
Yeah, you know, on that play, it was just a beautiful fake by Meyer, just faking the dive and reading that defensive end, pulling it out, and then finding Ruiz on the outside with that pitch. And Ruiz really had a pretty easy path to the corner of the end zone there, had one block on the outside, but other than that, it was just green grass, and Marauders strike first in this one.
Here's the extra point attempt. It is up. It looks good. It is good. So with 8:29 left to go, the Mingus Marauders are leading the Volunteers from LeeWilliams 7-0. Will return to Kingman after this.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. If you're on the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find their selection extensive and their sales team professional and courteous. You can also count on excellent after-sales service. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet on Highway 260 next to Walmart in Cottonwood.
Back here, Mingus Union High School is going to get the penalty assessed on the kickoff. No, they are not. Or maybe they are. We will find out. The ball is at the 45. They now call the penalty, and they are going to mark off the penalty from the 40-yard line. There we go. And they are going to give the Marauders a 15-yard advantage. So that means Mingus will be kicking off from the 45-yard line of the Volunteers. Ruiz, his third touchdown of the season. He scored 2 last week, including the game winner against the Cactus Cobras. That one, a receiving touchdown.
Yeah, you talk about him last week, and we mentioned growth in the game he had on the ground, but Ruiz was huge in that second half, and just having another option to go to was pivotal for the Mingus Marauders.
And the Mingus Marauders dribble it down the field. It doesn't go 10 yards, and the onside kick does not fare well for Mingus, and so it will turn over to the Volunteers. The Volunteers will get the ball at their own 36-yard line. So the 15-yard penalty ensued. The decision to go for the onside kick, can't blame them.
Yeah, no, you know, it's going to be great field position for LeeWilliams, who that first drive was very unique. I mean, on the kick return, opening kick return, Mingus was receiving, and the return man had the ball stripped out of his hands, and then LeeWilliams gets the ball back, and they throw an interception, and Marauders went down the field and scored. Now LeeWilliams again.
Hand off, they'll cut up underneath the tackle near side. Mingus Ruiz will have the tackle out there, and running the ball for the first time is Paul Giglio. As he leads with 3 rushing touchdowns for the Volunteers. He'll just get 1 yard on this one. So 2nd and 9, ball at the Volunteers 37-yard line. As you can hear, the Volunteers band of spirits just outside the windows to our right here in Kingman. There's the snap, and the quarterback will hand it off. They try the right side this time, and a pile scalping on the tackle out there as Giglio gets another carry. I was talking to the head coach for the Volunteers. He says they do running back by committee. There will be 3 different running backs that we will probably see during the course of the game. And so far it seems like they're doing shifts. First shift out there for the Volunteers was Andrew Davis, and second shift seems to be Paul Giglio's shift. 3rd and 8 from the 38-yard line. Quarterback has 2 receivers to the right, kind of stacked, takes the snap, looking to throw. Mingus coming, and they do get the screen off to Giglio, but Vincent sniffs it out for a 2-yard gain, so the completion is good, but 4th and a long 6.
Yeah, you mentioned Giglio, and how they kind of switch running backs in the backfield, but Giglio comes into tonight with 44 carries. He has 237 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. So he's one of those main backs there for LeeWilliams, and they're going to him. They went to him quite a few times on this drive, but 4th and long, LeeWilliams forced to punt here.
Well, that was the first completion for the Volunteers. Goes for 2 yards. The screen did not go the way they wanted to. Mingus in the backfield too quickly. A short punt, right side, bounces away. Get away, Poison. Oh, I hate that. Coaching special teams, I hate that. The ball will come to a rest at about the 33-yard line. Good field position, 32-yard line. Mingus will take over from there as it ends up being a punt for about 28 yards downfield.
You looked at the end of that play. Jose Pacheco was back there to receive that punt, and it was just so short. You could see him yelling at his team to stay away, and the ball went to hit the ground, took a huge hop, and got close to another Marauder, and Pacheco was like, hey, told you to get away from it. And then the other teammate was like, hey, I can't, the ball bounces. I can't tell where it's going to go.
It followed me, Coach. It followed me. And here comes the Mingus Marauders. Myers looking to throw. First attempt, has a man wide open. Ruiz has to come back for it. He's past the 30 and he's down to the 25-yard line as Myers makes the first completion ever against the Volunteers. Last time they played, Mingus didn't even attempt to throw the ball.
Well, right there, Ruiz wide open in the middle of the field. As you look here, he drops back to pass Meyer, and he just throws, and there's Ruiz. Actually stops. The ball is underthrown a little bit, has time to stop, turn around, and square up to the ball, and once he catches it, he kind of lost that momentum running the ball. So LeeWilliams was able to catch up behind him, but a nice completion in the air for the Marauders.
42 yards. Here goes Myers looking to throw again. He's got growth. He's also got Ruiz downfield. Pardon me, that's Pollock. Pollock with his first reception of the game and almost got into the end zone. A little slow to get up as Pollock as he's hobbling back to the huddle. He wants back in on this, but Pollock is going to kind of limp off right now. Pollock with a huge reception out there as he picks up, let's see, how many did he get? He got 22 yards on the reception. Sets up the Mingus Marauders inside the 5-yard line, and then he got caught from behind.
Yeah, it looks like the defender wrapped up those legs and actually fell on his ankles, and he got up hopping right away.
Mingus looking to throw again. Myers to the near side and into the end zone. Touchdown, 3 passes in a row, and it looks like Link has his first receiving touchdown of the season.
Yeah, Link coming across the middle, almost even, almost parallel with the goal line here, and Meyer rolling out to his right. Link had a step or two on the defender, and just a beautifully placed ball in that small little window where only Link could receive that, and he did for a touchdown. Marauders on the board again.
69 yards, 3 for 3. Myers just drives the ball down the field, and now he's looking to add the extra point, and he does so with ease. And Mingus, with 5:24 left to go in the first quarter, has now taken a 14-0 lead over the Volunteers from LeeWilliams. We'll take a break. We'll return for the Marauder kickoff after this.
People always ask us, what does being a dealer for the people mean? Being for the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. That belief drives the entire team at Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to care more, to try harder, to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find or fix the perfect car for your life and budget. Whatever is keeping you from driving the car you want, we guarantee we'll try our best to help you. We're Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're a dealer for the people. Visit us at our store in Cottonwood or see all our deals at mattsays.yes.com.
Mingus comes out with a new setup here for kickoff, as the ball is going to be on the near hash mark, just inside the near hash mark, but Mingus showing a bunch formation, 6 on one side, 4 to the near side. which is a little different. And we'll see if they're going to stay in that formation for kickoff. So this is new and unique as they back up to get out of Myers' way. And Myers will boot it. It's deep and almost to the end zone. It'll be taken back, returnable at the 1. To the near side they come. A couple of missed blocks or missed tackles, and then out just past the 20-yard line, about the 23-yard line, and that's where the Volunteers will take over.
Yeah, Volunteers going to start this drive on offense with good field position again, but talking about just after that passing touchdown for Meyer to Link, really, we saw a touchdown last week in the air. He had 3 in week 1, and it was just having success in the air really is helping this rushing game for the Marauders open up a little bit because they're having success in the air. We saw on that last drive for the Marauders is that they completed a handful of passes just in that one drive.
Handoff comes to the near side, back to number 16. Go the LeeWilliams squad, and that's going to be Davis, and cutting in behind the line of scrimmage. Another tackle for a loss as Davis will lose 1.
Streck back there on the tackle for the Marauders in the backfield. Mingus talking about them. Their defense last week had a very tough one, another physical game for them against Cactus, and they continue to force the quarterback into situations that they don't want to do, and they're having pressure again tonight.
Mazzone hands the ball off, coming near side. This time he's got a little hole. Should have cut that one to the outside. Had room to the outside, and cuts back inside is Davis, and he'll pick up a decent gain, so he'll get the 2 that he lost, the 1 that he lost, and pick up another 4. Give him 5 on the carry. 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6 from the Volunteer 27-yard line.
4:10 left here in the first quarter. Mingus with the 14-0 lead over LeeWilliams here early.
1 receiver to the left, 1 receiver far to the right. 1 man in the backfield, that's Davies, quarterback. Mazzone drops the ball, low snap, has to fall on it, and getting credit for the easiest tackle is Ruiz.
Ruiz was back there before I think the quarterback even knew the ball was on the ground.
Well, he was back there before I knew it was on the ground, I'll tell you that. So negative 6 yards lost on the fumbled snap, the low snap. And quarterback Mazzone really never got his hands on it, and Volunteers will punt once again. And Pacheco back for the Marauders. We'll see if he's got a returnable punt. It's going to take a bounce. It is returnable. He picks it up. He goes near side. He'll pick up a cut, a block. Trying to get to the outside. This time he'll get wrapped up and brought down at about the 36-yard line. So give him a return of about 6, and boy, he had to fight for him.
Yeah, he really did, and you could tell he was fighting for it, and it looked like he was, when he cut it back to the opposite side of the field, looked like he might have some room to take it down the sideline, but LeeWilliams closes in on it. Talking about LeeWilliams, this offense, before tonight, they have lost 5 fumbles on the season so far. We had an interception that they threw in their opening drive after getting the ball back from the opening kick return, and 5 fumbles on the ground, and really that's just something that they're going to try and clean up here, that ball security, in order to just keep momentum on their side so they can put together a nice drive and march down the field and put some points on the board.
Meyer over center. He's got a man in motion. That's Ruiz. He's looking to throw again. He has time. Puts it up. Trevor Galloway. Is he going to get back to it? No. Underthrown. Giglio on the coverage, and Trevor Galloway came down on him hard trying to get back to the ball. Something I noticed, the cheerleaders for the Volunteers all wearing number 11 for the lost 11. And while I was glancing at that, of course, it confused me, of course, and then I thought, thank goodness the football team doesn't all wear 11. Yeah. That would be really confusing.
That would make your job very hard. Mine
yes,
as well.
Yeah, no kidding. So that is the first incompletion out there for Trey Meyer in the game, as he is now 3 for 4, 69 yards and a touchdown. Myers will look to take the snap, and this time he will hand off. Groth finds a way through the middle and then bounces to the near side. A good gain out there for 8, as Groth has his third carry of the game, and already he has got 46 yards. You had made mention earlier, one of the leading rushers for the Mingus Marauders, and he's technically done it in 5 quarters.
Yeah.
He really has. He played the first quarter of the first game against Higley and then was out pretty much the rest of the game. Here come the Marauders again. There's the snap, and this time they'll throw across the middle. Ruiz wide open, first down past the 40 into Volunteer territory down to the 38.
Just a quick little dump off. Ruiz out of the backfield, found a little opening in the middle of the field, and just right there dumps it off to him, and he's open and picks up what he can. Another first down for the Marauders. But talking about growth, 5 quarters before tonight, I mean, he had over 100 yards in that first quarter in week 1. So he's just been running the ball extremely hard. So is Ruiz.
Looks like Myers going to throw again. Has Trevor Galloway to the outside as he dives forward on the comebacker for a first down. Should be enough to move the chains, and the first reception for Galloway this season.
Yeah, just finding him on the outside there, and this is again another completion in the air for Mingus, but unfortunately a flag on the field. It looks like this one's coming back for the Marauders.
Okay, Galloway's got to be walking back to the huddle going, really? Really? Seriously, I have been in the line replacing other linemen for, trying to fill in for all of this time. I finally get a chance to go play tight end. I run one route. I run the second one. I catch it, but no, it goes backward. Well, that's going to be a deep hold. The hold taking place almost 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So Mingus now with the ball on their side of the field at the 45-yard line. They've got to get all the way to the Volunteers' 27-yard line for a first down. So here comes the Marauders. Myers looking to throw. Chucks it up, and he's got a man wide open. And it is Growth with the reception and down to the 3.
Wow.
Man-on-man coverage on the far side. And once again, the ball underthrown. Growth has to come back to it as Myers has got penetration and he's got company in the backfield very quickly. Growth trying to get to the end zone and will get down to about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Meyer was under center. He snapped the ball, and while he was dropping back to pass, he had a Volunteer right in his face and under pressure while he was falling backwards. Just threw that ball up down the left sideline, and it just dropped in there perfectly for Growth, who almost had the touchdown, but he's down there and within striking distance for the Marauders. A couple yards to go. 1:14 left in this first quarter.
153 yards throwing the ball for Mr. Meyer from the quarterback position. He is 5 of 6. He's got Growth in the backfield. And Ruiz will be in motion. Growth will be the lead blocker. Ruiz trying to get to the end zone, does he? And the far judge says yes, the young man crosses the line.
Wow, that was determination right there by Ruiz. They set him in motion from right to left, pitch it out to him, and he was actually hit in the backfield a couple times, and he shook off a few tackles and then ended up diving towards the pylon and got in for the touchdown. Mingus up 20-0 here, under a minute left in this first quarter.
Second touchdown by Ruiz in the game, both of them rushing touchdowns. Link has the other touchdown, a receiving touchdown. And Myers is a perfect 3 for 3 with extra points. So 21-0, 56.3 seconds left to go in period number 1 here at LeeWilliams High School in Kingman, Arizona. The full moon over the field will return after this.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
As the Mingus Marauders get set to kick off again on Verde Valley TV, Cable 1, Channel 56, Suddenlink Channel 2. See how I slid that in there? You can see the moon in the background, a full moon, as Myers gives it a full boot. And it'll be taken at the 2, brought out to the 10, past the 15, looking for a place to go. Caught up, corralled at about the 22-yard line. And the Volunteers will take over once again. Volunteers, their best opportunity was actually the fumble to kickoff where they had the ball in Mingus Marauder territory and trying to get back to, well, the Mingus side of the field once again.
Yeah, and this is the third time that they've started with really good field position, decent field position at the least, and the Marauders defense is just, again, playing aggressive tonight, getting pressure, getting off the blocks, and they're playing very well here and not letting LeeWilliams get really anything going on offense. We've seen that a few times this year for the defense, just kind of creating havoc there for the opposing offense.
Quarterback in a shorter note, now he drops back to a regular snap position, and Mingus is coming across the line. So that could be the first penalty against the Mingus Marauders, an encroachment penalty. Well, drop the Mingus Marauders by 5. I was going to make mention, 11 carries, 7 yards on the ground, 2 yards in the air. So in the first quarter, with 45 seconds left to go, Mingus's defense has held LeeWilliams to 9 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're just flying to the ball, and they're playing aggressive. I can't say it enough. I mean, they're just, anything that LeeWilliams does is wrong.
There's the snap, a handoff. As it goes to the far side, they'll cut up underneath the tackle, and a decent gain, which will bring the ball up close to a first down to about the 32-yard line, their own 32-yard line. So 2nd and 1, and give Davies a 4-yard carry out there. Volunteers looking for their second first down of the game. You know what comes up next week back at home is Mojave. The Thunderbirds coming to town for homecoming for the Mingus Marauders 2016. Mazzone dries the hands on the towel, takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got a man to the near side and throws it high. Contact as the ball gets there. Pacheco comes across as the ball was intended for Santos, number 6, the wide receiver. They were just trying to get it out to him real quick, but 3rd now and 1. 3rd and 1. He was open when he released the ball.
Yeah, he really was. Actually, the quarterback had to kind of do a double pump real quick because a Marauder defender jumped up in the air and kind of blocked his passing lane. And by the time he got the ball off into the flat, it was just a little bit too late.
Tight end in the game, two backs in the backfield, and they're going to hand off Davies will push ahead for a first down, give him 3 on the carry, and the Volunteers starting a drive with a first down.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you need. Sometimes all it takes to really get that momentum back on offense is 1 first down. You just take it 1 first down at a time. And now we reach the end of the first quarter, so they'll start the second quarter with the ball and a first down.
Well, the Cottonwood Perks and Rec scoreboard here on Verde Valley TV says 21-0 at the end of 1. Second quarter action coming up after this.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
Back here at LeeWilliams as we start the second quarter off appropriately with yellow litter on the field. And it looked like McClanahan came in full speed. Now they're going to discuss whether or not he was drawn. If so, that would be the second encroachment penalty against Mingus just on this drive.
A few scoring updates. Coconino taking on Mojave. Coco 7, Mojave 6. Cactus is losing right now to Cactus Shadows. Cactus Shadows 14 and Cactus 7. That one's in the first. And then you have Bradshaw Mountain up 7-0 over Marcos Deniza. That one is also in the first.
Wow. Holy cow. Marcus Deniza, the second-ranked team in 4A, and Bradshaw with a lead in the first quarter. That one is huge. That Cactus Shadows game, 14-7. That one will be fantastic. Mingus is going to get points either way.
Yeah.
We played both of them, so we're going to get points. Speaking of which, Mingus started, according to Max Preps, number 10, according to Max Preps. There's the snap, the handoff coming out of the backfield and making good ground, trying the left-hand side inside the guard and tackle. And Davies will pick up 4, bringing up a second and a short. So via the penalty, the Volunteers have had a couple of manageable opportunities.
Yeah, and you'll take those opportunities however they come. Right now they're looking at a second and short. And they're just, again, trying to get something going here on offense, moving the ball down the field. And we'll see what they can do here on second down if they can pick up this short gain for first down.
Wishbone, and they'll hand it off, trying to find a cut lane, and he does, and he'll lane forward for about 3 yards. So Volunteers eating clock and picking up their second first down of the drive as they are approaching the Mingus Marauder side of the field. Ball currently sitting at their own 46-yard line.
This LeeWilliams offense is a team that wants to run the ball. That's, I would say, a little bit more their specialty on offense is they want to run the ball. They'll throw it a little bit, of course, 238 yards in the air, but on the ground, 395 so far coming into this game.
Offset eye, one receiver to the right. They'll be strong left. Quarterback looking to take the snap, and they will hand it off. They'll run to the strong side. Mingus in the backfield, sniffed it out. And the sophomore, Streck, Kendrew Streck will come in, a big tackle for loss, so that'll be a negative 5 yards on the carry.
Yeah, a couple tackles now here in this first half in the backfield for Streck. Nice play there for the sophomore, the 6'1", 200-pound sophomore, tight end and linebacker, just getting things done in the backfield. We've seen him in the backfield a couple times.
Solid kid, I'll tell you what. He's definitely one that's going to be in the Mingus Marauder ranks for a couple of years here. Offset eye, the snap goes over the quarterback. It's a race to the ball, and he may have gotten back to it. That is hard to do if you beat Ruiz to the ball. Mazone, out of pure desire, beats Ruiz as the ball goes sailing over his head. Second questionable snap of the game.
Yeah, well, we talked about the turnovers, 5 coming into this game, 5 fumbles for LeeWilliams, and that one was it was a little bit high, the snap. Quarterback was in the shotgun position a little bit high, and it just looked like it was a bullet. So it got back there really quick, and I think the fact that it got so far into the backfield made it difficult for Ruiz to jump on it.
3rd and 22, the snap. Quarterback's looking to throw. He'll throw it up. He's got a man wide open on the near side. Stumbling to a first down. Will he make it close to the 50-yard line? Let's see. He needed to get to the 49 of the Mingus Marauders, and he will be just short.
Number 9, Cody Farron on the play. A big play there for LeeWilliams. We'll see, it looks like they're going to come up a little short, but absolutely nobody there on the right side of the field, and he was just there, Farron, all by himself on the right side of the field. He caught the ball, looked downfield, and there's nothing but green grass in front of him down that sideline. It took a while for Marauders to get across the field to make the tackle.
27 yards on the reception to the tight end, coming across the field on the far side. And you know what? The Volunteers lined up to go for it. They're going to take a break and think about it. May have wanted to see what defense Mingus comes out in. We're going to return to LeeWilliams High School after this.
They're here. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General 4, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, connecting you like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Cottonwood Motorsports, located on Route 260 and Western Drive.
Back here in Kingman, Arizona, LeeWilliams with a 4th and 4. with the ball on the Mingus Marauder side of the field. They're going to be at the Mingus Marauder 49-yard line. They need to get to the 44-yard line. I misspoke earlier. I was 5 yards off. They need to get to the 44-yard line, and now they come out and set up for a punt. And you see Chaz Taylor calling Pacheco up, and now the coach is sending Pacheco back. So Pacheco's doing the yo-yo thing off to the right-hand side, and we'll see if the Volunteers do indeed punt. Punt formation, high snap. There it is, almost blocked, and he'll get off a low punt, a decent bounce. It'll roll inside the 10 and down to the 9-yard line. So what wasn't pretty on film will look great in the stats.
Yeah, well, it was the snap to the punter was just a slow, high, kind of arcing snap there, and Alec Nelson, it gave him enough time to get into the backfield, and he was just barely missed blocking that punt. But that high and slow snap is what allowed him to get back there before the punt was off.
You ready for this? In the first quarter, the Mingus Marauders had more passing yards than rushing yards.
Wow. Well, yeah, you love to see that. I mean, this is a team that can run the ball, but when you see them having success in the air, you can't help but think how much that is going to help the offense in general, but help open up things for the running game even more.
Trevor Galloway on the far side, and it's picked off all of Ruiz's hands and run back to the end zone. Touchdown Volunteers. Andrew Herrera, the free safety. The ball was thrown. Ruiz, it got handcuffed him and off of the pads, and Herrera found a present hanging out there and is able to turn around, try the left-hand side, and about a 22-yard touchdown return put the Volunteers on the board.
Yeah, well, that's really the first big spark that we've seen here from LeeWilliams, and the first play that really gets them amped up there, that pick six for a touchdown. I mean, just a big play that they needed, the defense needed, the offense needed, the team needed for LeeWilliams. And we'll see what they do here with the extra point. Right now, 21-6, 8:38 left in the second quarter.
There's the snap, and the hold is down. The kick is up and good. And it looks like Mazzone will kick his own. So both of the quarterbacks are also the kickers. They did not try an extra point last game against Kingman Academy, so I hadn't seen that. All right, 21-7 your score as we're a few minutes into the second quarter. We'll return to LeeWilliams after this.
Our whole team is here to help you get the most out of each workout.
Here at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
Well, looks like the LeeWilliams Volunteers will kick off for the second time in this game. We're following the defensive score for the Volunteers. Mingus now with 2 turnovers and 1 takeaway in this game. Last week against Cactus, the turnovers were 3 and 3. And back for the Mingus Marauders, Chaz Taylor and Justin Groth. And it looks like Groth will take it. Groth on the far side. He's at the 15, the 20. Makes a man miss out past the 30 and out to about the 32-yard line. So a decent return of about 24 yards, and Mingus will set up shop for their first drive of the second quarter.
Very nice tackle there in the open field while Groth was getting some momentum behind that return was number 5, Joel Nunez. Just a nice open field tackle.
Trevor Galloway at a wide receiver position. And they're going to go with a reverse. Ruiz loses the handle and falls on it. And again, the ball is slippery. It must be the full moon.
It must be the full moon. I mean, we started talking about it, and all of a sudden the ball starts getting onto the grass a little bit more. But that one was just a kind of a sloppy exchange between the two Marauders there in the backfield. Luckily, they were able to get back on it before LeeWilliams was back there.
Mingus had the misdirection. The lane was there and you could see it developing. However, doesn't go well for Mingus. They will hand off, and Growth will do it the hard way as he goes to the right-hand side. We'll try the A-gap to the right-hand side, and we'll pay back to pick it up about 4, give him 4 yards. So 3rd down and 9. Mingus has the ball at their own 32-yard line.
See what they do here with the 3rd and long, having a lot of success, more success in the air so far this game than on the ground. We'll see if they go to the air here to pick up this 3rd and long. Looks like they got one receiver out there.
Once again, Trevor Galloway getting to be the receiver, and the pitch is coming to the near side. Colby Fanning has some blocking. He'll pick up the 1st down, and down the left side, he'll stiff arm, and then out of bounds at the 45-yard line of the Volunteers. So Colby Fanning with the pitch and a lead blocker gets around the corner. Stabrith knocks his man to the outside. Finding the hole is Fanning, and then he will do the stiff arm. I always like the stiff arm.
Yeah, a very, very nice run by Fanning. He was lined up on the right side of the formation. The ball was snapped, and he came around from right to left behind Meyer. And once he got to the left side of Meyer, Meyer pitched it out there. Fanning followed his blocks, made a couple nice moves, and a stiff arm. A big gain for Fanning and the Marauders.
Stabrith in motion. Mingus looking to throw. Meyer, 7-step drop. Fires up. He's got a man open downfield, and with the catch is, holy cow. Is that possibly Bradley Howard? I think it is. Number 23, a sophomore, Bradley Howard, comes out of the backfield, one of the fastest kids at Mingus Union High School, and he dashes downfield, and somehow Myers doesn't underthrow him, and Bradley Howard catches the ball over the shoulder, looking backward. Fantastic job for the young man.
Well, that one right there all started up front. Meyer had time to drop back and step into that throw. Had absolutely nobody in his face. Beautiful protection by the offensive line, and he just had so much behind that throw. Got it in the air. Found Howard, who is right around the goal line. See if Mingus can punch it in.
Mingus looking to run the ball in, and it is good. A touchdown for the Mingus Marauders. Was that Growth that went up the middle?
That was Growth.
Growth picks up the touchdown. I thought Bradley Howard had the touchdown. They apparently marked him down at the 1. So no aerial touchdown for the Mingus Marauder quarterback Meyer. Instead, Growth will take the rushing touchdown. And the senior, how about that? He's got to give way to the senior. The senior gets the points. Howard gets the credit. We'll definitely mention him. How about that? As Meyer looks to set up for the extra point, Mingus goes ahead 27-7 with 6:15 left to go here in the second quarter. Meyer set to kick the extra point. There it is. The hold is good. The kick is good, and the point is on the board. Chaz Taylor, the holder, and 28-7. Mingus gets the points right back here at LeeWilliams High School. We'll return after this.
Cheerleading, tumbling, gymnastics.
We are Flip City Gym.
We have classes for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels.
Flip City Gym offers competitive co-ed cheerleading with world champion coaches.
Ask about tumbling and gymnastics.
Or our health and fitness-based academic preschool.
The only one of its kind in Northern Arizona.
Enjoy open gym Fridays and Saturdays. Stop by for your free class or find out more at flipcitygym.org.
Well, the Mingus Marauders sophomore Bradley Howard, an over-the-shoulder catch sets up Growth for a 1-yard run. That was pretty.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was a huge gain when we thought he got into the end zone there, but that ball was just launched up there, and he looked like an outfielder, a center fielder or something, kind of camping under that and caught it a little bit behind him, but just a nice reception.
You know what's unusual about that? He is a center fielder.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
Myers drives this one well into the end zone, so he gets his first touchback of the game. And sometimes I wonder whether or not Myers is told not to put it in the end zone. I mean, honestly, because he's got enough leg to do it every time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we've seen him put it in the end zone here tonight on the kickoff, and Yeah, and then when he does, it's back there 6, 7, 8 yards. So he does it there again. But talking about how about that drive there by the Marauders? I mean, they were faced with a 3rd and long. They go to Colby Fanning, who picks it up and then some. And then they go deep to Bradley Howard, and then they finish it off with Growth, getting it done in the air, on the ground. Everything that they're doing right now on offense seems to be working, and it's coming together beautifully.
Sophomore, senior.
Yep.
There we go. I like it. 20-yard line. Here in high school football, they make it harder than the pros. You got the touchback that sits at the 20 instead of the 25. And that's where the Volunteers will take over. Mazzone from the quarterback position looking to throw. Throws the ball downfield, and there will be a flag thrown. Contact made as the intention went to the tight end again. Number 9, Farron, who had the big reception earlier in the game. This time the coverage considerably tight, and according to the referees, just a tad too tight.
Yeah, you had Trevor Galloway and Chaz Taylor underneath and over top there. And looks like they're going to say they got there. One of them got there a little bit early.
Pass interference is the call, and this is where you'd like spot of the foul, because the spot of the foul would have been a 4-yard, but instead in high school football, it is a 15-yard penalty regardless of the spot of the foul, and not an automatic first down. So 15-yard penalty against the Mingus Marauders, 3rd penalty against Mingus in this game, and 1st and 10 from about the 35-yard line. Mazzone looking to throw again, and this time a great defense by Stabrith, and
another flag
down.
Yeah, I think they're going to say Stabrith got there a little bit early. Hard to tell from where we were at, but it looked like good coverage from here, but the referee was in a great position to make that call, and we'll see if that's in fact what it was.
Coach Zabala, though, for the Mingus Marauders, who coaches the defensive backs, got to be happy with this coverage. Actually, it was pretty darn decent coverage. You got your hand on. He came across with the right hand, making sure that you're wrapping up the tackle. So, it was definitely close. The referees, however, now have put the ball back-to-back penalties, 30 yards ahead. The ball is at the 50-yard line, and here come the Volunteers in an offset I. Strong to the left, offset to the right. Quarterback takes the snap, throws the ball up. It's a jump ball, and they're going to call Colby Fanning for contact. So the 3rd pass interference call in a row here against the Mingus Marauders.
Well, he was going for number 82, David Herrera. I mean, right when that ball was snapped, Mazzone knew exactly where he was going with that ball, and there was a little bit of hand play between the receiver and Fanning downfield a little bit, and it looks like they got Fanning on that one, but Mazzone knew exactly where he was going with that play, and you have a little bit of a height disadvantage there, and I think that's what he was trying to capitalize on.
Well, here come the Volunteers. Have no yards from scrimmage, 45 penalty yards later, are now at the 35-yard line for the Mingus Marauders. Offset I to the near side, strong to the right, receivers on either end. Mazzone looking to take the snap, and they will ask Stabrith to leave the field. I think he had a boo-boo on the elbow. An elbow boo-boo will put Stabrith out there looking for a Band-Aid. Jimenez will come in to play the near side backer position. So number 3 in the game for Mingus. Once again, back to the Volunteers. They'll hand the ball off. They'll run to the near side. He's got a hold, trying to get to the outside. He hits the corner. Jimenez gets a hold of him, but not until a gain of 11. And so a first down for the Volunteers puts the ball within the 25.
Andrew Davis there on the handoff, gets to the outside, has a couple of nice moves, a little block there, ends up with a little stutter step, faking inside, and ends up going outside to pick up a few more yards. A couple score updates, Coconino and Mojave, that one's all tied up at 20 in the second quarter. And then now Prescott taking on Moon Valley. Moon Valley leading Prescott 7-6, Moon Valley 7, Prescott 6.
Prescott losing 23-3 last week. And that was a little bit premature. I wonder if the guard was pulling.
I wonder where he was going.
I think he was heading left. Well, the guard gets up and pulls a little bit early. Couple of twins on the squad out here for the Volunteers. and they're both in the offensive line. How about that? Matthew Bathauer and Michael Bathauer both go both ways offensively and defensively, and the twins on the line for the Volunteers. One brother 6'2", 210. The other brother is 6'1", 200. And this time the tight end leaves early, and jumping is Farron. So now back to back. Let's see, on this drive, we've had 5 penalties. 30, 45, 55 yards of penalties and 1 run.
Mingus, three pass interference calls in a row. And then LeeWilliams here twice in a row, jumping early.
So that brings up 1st and 20. The ball now comes out to the 34-yard line of the Mingus Marauders. Offset I. And now, oh no, Coach wants it to go to 2 receivers to the far side. There's the snap, looking to throw. He's got a little pressure, but time to throw. Throws the ball downfield, and no flag. Had to wait. The ball intended downfield for, let's see if we can catch a number. I think that was number 6. And looked like Chaz Taylor on the coverage out there. Santos, the wide receiver, was the intended receiver. Had to pause because there was contact.
Yeah.
There was contact when the ball got there, but no flag came out, so Mingus timed it correctly on that one. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 man in the backfield for the Volunteers. 2nd and 20 now. Mazzone takes the snap. Coming through the middle like a bat is Vincent. And
that's picked off by the Marauders, number 6, Stabrith.
He will pick it off. Vincent should get credit for that interception. He came through like a bat out of a really dark cave and just threw his man off, gets in the face of the quarterback who threw the ball early and probably not advisable. And Stabrith dove to catch the ball, no return, but Mingus will get the ball back at their own 24-yard line.
That is a perfect example of how huge that pressure from the defensive line is, and just how that can disrupt a play, especially when you're going to the air. That's what that did, and then Stabrith comes up downfield with the interception. Another interception for the Marauders.
Mingus with the ball and the lead. Mingus will go the opposite direction. Ruiz going the misdirection. Will have a good gain. Give him about 5 as they send people in motion, and I really do like that play. You know, you've got pitch people moving, and then all of a sudden you've got a wing going in the opposite direction. A lot of times, because of that motion, there are a lot of referees that will call Mingus for motion penalties on that, because we got so many people moving in so many different directions. As soon as the ball snapped, somebody had to leave early.
Right.
You know?
Or you have multiple guys moving at one time.
Myers back to throw. He turns around, throws it. Galloway didn't quite make his cut. The timing just slightly off, as those two have not played catch too much this year, and Galloway still looking for his first reception of the year.
Still looking for that. I think once Galloway made his cut, I think he was open a little bit, but by the time he turned around towards Meyer, the ball was already past Galloway, and it might have been a little bit overthrown or just in front of Galloway. But as you mentioned, he's still looking for that reception.
Ruiz now has 13 yards on 5 carries, but 2 touchdowns. Growth 51 yards on 5 carries. And 1 man in motion. Mingus will go the opposite direction. Stabrith finds a lane. He's scampering to the outside. He has got 1 blocker that actually 1 man that he just kind of pushed off to the side and gets down to the 30. So a huge gain for the Mingus Marauders senior, as he will pick up 40 yards on the carry, give him 39.
Oh man, Stabrith hit that hole so hard he actually ran through an arm tackle there, and then that's what led to that huge gain. So with 4:30 left in the second quarter, that was a big gain for the Marauders, another one.
Well, puts the ball on the Volunteer side, as they'll get the ball at the 31-yard line. Mingus trying to advance on a 28-7 lead so far. 1 man in the backfield. Meyer looking to throw. As he gets the ball off, tries to get it to Galloway off the fingertips, thrown high across the middle. I tell you what, if you're going to throw the ball high across the middle, I would throw it to Galloway, because who's going to hit him?
Right.
I mean, honestly, Galloway's a big boy, and he's a strong boy, and this kid has been playing on the varsity level pretty much since he has been a freshman out there, wearing number 40 today. A senior, 6'4", 225. That is a big receiver coming at you.
That's a big target across the middle to try and find there. Unfortunately, that was just a little overthrown.
2nd and 10. Here goes the snap. Myers throwing to the outside and again tries to get to Galloway. They're trying to throw it to him, and Galloway was kind of doing a wheel route downfield, and Meyer expected him to stop out there somewhere around the 8-yard mark from the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they keep trying to go to Galloway, and on that play, he was lined up against Justin Sturgill Jr., and right there I think they're trying to capitalize on that mismatch. Sturgill Jr., 5'10", 145. Of course, Galloway, 6'4".
And Myers will snap it, and they try a misdirection coming this direction with Stabrith, or toward the press box, and it is well covered by the Volunteers. It'll go for a negative or a loss of about 3 yards out there. So 4th and 13, the ball at the 34-yard line of the Volunteers. Do you bother to punt?
You know, you're approaching 3:30 here. We'll see what they do. It looks like they are going to line up and punt. Mingus doesn't have a guy back there yet.
Offensive coordinator Wadsworth, will see what he is going to decide to do as they are set up to go for it. And Myers looking to run it himself. Tries to get to the outside around the corner. He won't have the first down. He'll have a gain of about 6 or 7. Give him 7 on the carry. And that was the first time they actually called Myers' number running the ball. It'll be a turnover on downs as the ball gets down about the 26-yard line. That's where the Volunteers will take over.
Yeah, you know, and every once in a while it's nice to see Meyer decide to keep that ball and run it, just because we talk about it week in and week out, especially with the offense of the Marauders here, where they like to read the defense, and depending on what the defense does, that determines who pitches the ball, who gets the ball, who's handing it off. And so whenever they have Meyer and is able to kind of keep the ball himself, that just keeps that defense, okay, hey, listen, the quarterback will keep this ball, so whoever's man that is, make sure you stay on him. It's assignment football. If you have the quarterback, you have the quarterback.
Talked about it in the pregame, told Meyer at practice. Last year when we played the Volunteers, we didn't even have a pass attempt. So his first completion was going to be a record breaker. And there's the snap. Mazzone looked to hand it off. Now he's got a scamper. I think that was a broken play, but he'll make a little something out of nothing out there as he kind of follows through the left-hand side and gives him about 1. Defensive coordinator Neil Dixon from Maurice's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. Larry Nevitt, an assistant next to him. And I was told before the game, if we didn't do particularly well, that Larry Nevitt was the defensive coordinator. 2nd and 9 for the Volunteers from about the 27-yard line. Handoff just eaten up quickly out there by the Mingus Marauder defense, and it looks like Streck's in on that one again.
Look at the replay again. The pressure by the Marauders defense. You had Streck back there and a couple Marauders. You had Savato back there as well, number 31, Lucas. And just the Marauders getting that pressure, tackling as a team here tonight, something that is great to see as we are approaching 2:10 before we head into the locker room for halftime.
Davies has gotten most of the runs out of the backfield, and we haven't seen Giglio as much as I expected to see in the backfield for the Volunteers. Strong to the left-hand side. There's the snap. Here comes the blitz. The Mingus, or they throw downfield and off the fingertips. Mingus had pressure and the pass intended for the wide receiver off the fingertips. He had the first down.
Yeah, David Herrera, they were just trying to get him on a crossing route. They had him in the first down, but he was just not able to hold on to that one. As you mentioned, the pressure by the Marauders again. You have to think that played some sort of a role in that pass, but they were looking for Herrera across the middle.
Well, that was a well-designed pass that in films is going to look beautiful. We're going to do that again, except next time. Next time we're going to catch the ball.
Right.
Mingus with a $1.50 on the clock will get the ball back. And Mingus has all 3 timeouts. High snap once again, almost blocked by Nelson. It is returnable by Pacheco. He's going to try the right-hand side. He is past the 40, cuts it up the middle, runs into traffic and down to about the 48-yard line of the Volunteers. So Mingus will set up shop there with 1:37 left to go on the clock.
Pacheco showing how shifty he is back there. Didn't pick up quite as much as he wanted to, but we saw he was just trying to find that hole. You know, sometimes if you're not moving forward, you're trying to let your blocks develop, and, you know, sometimes they don't develop or there's just nowhere to go. We saw that shiftiness that Pacheco has, and the ball right around midfield, actually on LeeWilliams' side, barely of the field.
So Mingus will get the ball back. They get 103 rushing yards, 183 yards passing the ball. And looking with two receivers to the near side. Myers in trouble. Spins out of one. Throws downfield. He's got his man and out of bounds. And on the reception is Ruiz. Ruiz with his third reception of the game, and it might be close enough to a first down.
Yeah, number 89, Marco Navarrete, was the one who was chasing Meyer in the backfield and actually almost had a sack for a loss of 10, almost 12 yards. Meyer was able to get out of it and hit his receiver. But that was a nice pressure there in the backfield for number 89 for LeeWilliams.
Trips to the right-hand side for Mingus. When do you hear that? And they hand it off. Staberth coming to the near side. Tries a hole up underneath the guard. Got a block and will pick up 4 as the clock rolls down to 1:13 and continuing.
Yeah, well, that was another one of those deceptive plays by the Marauders. You have 3 wide receivers to one side of the field, and then you have your running back coming from right to left, and he's actually the one who gets the ball. LeeWilliams comes up and makes a nice stop there. Now we're under a minute.
Under a minute, you said, and Myers has a man open far side. He's got to dive for it and did not catch it, so it will stop the clock as Ruiz dove for the ball and unable to cradle it. I'm not sure he had a first down where he caught the ball. Mingus currently has the ball at the 35-yard line. So, 3rd and about 6 with almost 51 seconds left to go. Ruiz and Link on the far side. Meyer getting the call from Wadsworth and from the sideline as Mingus comes to the line ready to go. Over center, Jordan Vincent. Staberth in motion, and Myers looking to hand the ball off, and down the field he goes. Boy, we're going to look at the replay there because the announcers were absolutely fooled. Ruiz picks up the first down, and the clock will stop as they move the chains as he just somehow gets the ball handed off underneath the I thought for sure they had him.
Well, you got 3 running backs back there. They fake the dive to Growth, and then you have Staberth moving in the backfield, and then they end up going the other way with Ruiz there. It was
20 yards.
A lot going on.
Yep, 20 yards on the misdirection, and had me absolutely fooled. And if you, we're going to keep it here for the Mingus Marauder timeout with 42.6 seconds left to go. For the people that know me, they know that it is extremely, well, easy to fool me. So
no comment.
Yeah. Yeah, all you needed was a truck drive to Kingman. You can figure that one out, right?
Well, there was a lot. I mean, I don't blame you for that. I was confused. There was just so much going on. You have multiple running backs, 3 of them. You have one in Staberth moving. You fake the dive to Growth, who's been just great for you. I mean, that's what's great about the offense for the Marauders is there's so many weapons. When they start moving guys around, you're not sure who's going to get the ball.
Myers with 50 seconds left to go has a man in motion looking to pass. He's got all sorts of pressure, breaks away from it and throws the ball downfield, has an open receiver. Mingus might want to take a timeout out there as catching the ball is Ruiz's 4th reception of the game, and that ball goes inside of the 5-yard line. Somehow, I do not know how he got away from the pressure in the backfield, and down to about the 4-yard line is Ruiz, the second timeout. So 33.3, exactly a third of a minute left, and Mingus will have 1st and goal, the far hash mark from about the 3-yard line. So Mingus is putting up some good numbers. That'll put Mingus over 200 passing yards for the game.
We got an update from Bradshaw and Marcos Deniza, a pick 6. Put Bradshaw Mountain over Marcos Deniza 13-6.
13-6, is that one at halftime yet? Pretty darn close, huh? So Mingus will get the ball or come to the line trying to score again as the ball sits at about the 3.5, maybe the 4-yard line out there. Somehow a 14-yard reception downfield as Meyer, scampering for his life, finds Ruiz for his 4th reception of the game. And a 1st and a goal. Time a factor here in the 2nd quarter. Meyer looking to throw. Throws the ball downfield. It's picked off in the end zone. It's coming the other way. And the Volunteers avoid the score and bring it back out to the 20-yard line.
Ooh, that is huge for LeeWilliams. If Mingus puts points on the board there, they have, all of the momentum into the locker room. Now this helps LeeWilliams as it's just underthrown there, and you have number 22, Justin Sturgill Jr., coming up with that huge interception in the end zone. He tried bringing it back, and now with just over 20 seconds left in the first half, LeeWilliams gets the ball back.
1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, as Meyer had 2 men in the back corner of the end zone. Just didn't quite get enough on the plant foot. And here come the Volunteers as they've got 23.5 seconds and some timeouts to work with. Mazzone putting the ball up, launches it, and almost picked off by Pacheco. Pacheco had great position, and the receiver, I think, played more defense on that one than Pacheco did.
Yeah, he really did. It was almost a jump ball out there, and Pacheco got to the highest point and had the ball, and then the receiver, I believe that was number 22, Sturgill Jr., again, who had that interception a moment ago. He actually kind of knocked the ball out of Pacheco's hands, but Pacheco got to the highest point there. And good defense.
No, great defense. Good job getting back. The Mingus Marauders trying to just prevent the big play with 18.1 seconds left to go. 2nd and 10 are the Volunteers from their own 23-yard line, and they're going to run it, and Mingus gets in there quickly, and making a point is Streck. Streck came through like a dart. In fact, I've seen darts not go that fast.
Streck again in the backfield. That's his 3rd or 4th time so far in this first half as the clock winds down, and we head in the locker room. The first half is in the books.
28-7, the Mingus Marauders on top on the road here at LeeWilliams High School. We're going to take a break and get into the Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime report after this.
Are you looking for a different approach to healthcare? A place where excellent care is combined with kindness and compassion? If so, welcome to Spectrum. At Spectrum, our approach to healthcare is positively different. From primary care to pediatrics, our staff is dedicated to one thing: you. As a leader in integrated care in Arizona, we treat the whole person because we think everyone deserves to feel better. Spectrum Healthcare, for mind, for body, for all of you.
They're here. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General Ford, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, connecting you like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Cottonwood Motorsports, located on Route 260 and Western Drive.
Cheerleading, tumbling, gymnastics.
We are Flip City Gym.
We have classes for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels.
Flip City Gym offers competitive co-ed cheerleading with world champion coaches.
Ask about tumbling and gymnastics.
Or our health and fitness-based academic preschool.
The only one of its kind in northern Arizona.
Enjoy open gym Fridays and Saturdays. Stop by for your free class or find out more at flipcitygym.org.
Since 1993, Rice Accounting has been assisting Verde Valley residents with their tax returns. A proud part of the National Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Rice Accounting can prepare all state and federal returns. They can file electronically or prepare paper returns. They're open year-round to assist you with personal and business taxes, quarterlies, payroll, and account services.
Please come on in to Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We're open year-round for all of your taxing needs. Thank you.
Welcome to the Halftime Report, brought to you by Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your dealer for the people. Located on 89A in Cottonwood or online at mattsays.yes.com. Stick around for the first half recap, including Marauder highlights, scores, and stats. Now let's head back live to the press box for Jackie and Kyle.
the road at Kingman High School. Jackie Bessler, Kyle Benedict along here for Mingus Marauder Football. Glad you are along with us. The Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram halftime report on the road. That's the best place to put a Dodge, is on the road, right? However, the best place for a Jeep is probably off the road.
Yeah, well, if you have a Jeep, why not?
Yeah, no. So now I am thoroughly confused, and I will ask Travis to kind of fill me in on this as we see the volunteer band on the field out here. Mingus at halftime leading by a score of 28-7. And the only points for the Volunteers, actually a defensive score, a 23-yard interception return for a touchdown. Other than that, Mingus has been able to pretty much dominate the first half, although we've turned the ball over a couple of times. We've got 3 turnovers in the game.
Yeah, you never like to see that, but the offense is, again, moving the ball, putting points on the board. The defense, as you mentioned, playing very well. The pick 6 or I guess the touchdowns came from the defense of LeeWilliams, and sometimes that's what you need to get your offense going. The Marauders have been able to keep the Volunteers offense really from doing much at all, and you were hoping that pick 6 from the Volunteers defense was going to kind of get that momentum back over to LeeWilliams, but the Mingus Marauders defense just keeps preventing that from happening. So it's been a nice first half for Mingus on both sides of the ball.
Really, truly, Mingus has held the Volunteers to not a lot of activity from the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. There's been as many negative plays as there have been positive plays, so the actual offense from the line of scrimmage doesn't look very good in the stats for the Volunteers, but the squad keeps coming back, and they just keep coming back, and they keep fighting out there on the field, and have found a couple of takeaways to stall Mingus Marauder drive. The last one included right at the end of the half. Mingus did score first in the first quarter at 8:29, just under 8.5 minutes left to go, and a 5-yard pitch to Ruiz, his first of 2 rushing touchdowns, as he gets around the corner and is able to outrace everybody to the end zone. Myers got the extra point, and Mingus was up 7-0. Still first quarter, Mingus will get the ball back, and 5:24 left to go. 3rd pass in a row. Myers on this drive was 3 for 3, 69 yards, and will end the drive with a 5-yard pass, the first touchdown pass to Link for the season, his first catch of the season, and it goes for a touchdown. 5 yards to the near side, and they'll find him toward the near side of the corner. And Myers added the extra point. It was 14-0. Then with 56.3 seconds left to go, still first quarter, Mingus will go up 21-0. Ruiz gets his second touchdown of the game. This one, a 2-yard pitch. This one he fought a little harder for, as he got resistance at the goal line, had to break through a couple of tackles and get in. And that was after a 53-yard pass to Jason Groth downfield that set up the 2-yard run. So Mingus at the end of the first quarter was leading by a score of 21-0. Second quarter action, 8:38 left to go, and this is the pick 6 that we were talking about, a 23-yard interception for Herrera. As he gets the ball off the tip and down the field, he cuts it back and finds pay dirt for his Volunteers, and Mozone gets the extra point. Does his own, I think I said earlier. And it was 21-7. Mingus would extend the lead at 6:15 left to go, following a 44-yard toss to, this is the first time I've seen him on the varsity field, Bradley Howard, one of the fastest kids at Mingus Union High School, and a great kid, by the way. Just a fantastic young man. 44 yards over the shoulder. Willie Mays in football pads, and catches the ball. I thought he got in. I really wished he got in. But Groth, the senior, would end up with the 1-yard run following this gorgeous 44-yard touchdown, almost near touchdown pass to Bradley Howard. And so Groth would dot the I and get the 1-yard plunge for the touchdown, and Myers added the extra point, and it was 28-7. And that was still with 6 minutes left to go. We had ball going up and down the field. A couple of times there was one particular drive where the Volunteers had 3 pass interference penalties against Mingus in a row.
Yeah, it was A couple of them, maybe could have gone either way, but they were called. They were pass interference called, so,
Absolutely.
hey, whatever they say down there in the pinstripes, that goes. But 3, and you're thinking, okay, so the interception, pick 6, didn't work to get them the momentum. You're thinking, okay, these penalties by the Marauders, you saw LeeWilliams was trying to go to the air, and penalties, pass interference calls, they get down around midfield, and then they start jumping off. They start jumping early, a couple false starts in a row, backing them back up, and that was just a very interesting drive. It was like they couldn't get things going when Mingus was trying to help them out, and then once they started getting down the field, they kind of didn't help themselves out. So it was a very interesting drive, but a very fun first half.
You know what I hate is when you're doing something, you got some momentum going, and somehow you put your elbow on the self-destruct button. Have you ever noticed that? And they kind of took themselves right out of their own rhythm. They were getting first down after first down, and then first and short and first and short again. And well, as it works out, we're going to get into individual stats when we come back to LeeWilliams High School. That's coming up here during the Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram halftime report. We'll be back after this.
People always ask us, what does being a dealer for the people mean? Being for the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. That belief drives the entire team at Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to care more, to try harder, to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find or fix the perfect car for your life and budget. Whatever is keeping you from driving the car you want, we guarantee we'll try our best to help you. We're Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're a dealer for the people. Visit us at our store in Cottonwood or see all our deals at mattsays.yes.com.
You'll get more miles for your money at Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. It starts with matching the right tire for you, your vehicle, and driving habits. And continues with expert brake, alignment, and warranty services to extend the life and performance of your vehicle. And to serve you better, we now offer King Cobra custom exhaust systems. Find out more about our nationwide warranty at reesestire.com.
Our whole team is here to help you get the most out of each workout.
Here at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
The Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram halftime report on the road here at LeeWilliams continues. And, Oxendale Chrysler Dodge, you go see Travis Reed out there, sales manager. And you know what? Their whole job is to not sell you a car, to put you in the right situation for you, whether it's a financing situation, whether I need a van because the kids always have kids and friends over, and I always end up driving 18 kids home, whether that's the situation where you're looking for a vehicle to travel with that may be more comfortable. How about if, you've gotten older and the hips aren't as good anymore, and I need a vehicle that isn't so low to get into. There's so many different things and so many different needs, and there's so many different options out there, and sometimes you don't know where to start. And the selection available at Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, fantastic. They are all about taking care of people, and they're going to get you into the right vehicle for your driving, your needs, and your situation. So go see Travis Reed. Tell him that Jackie and Kyle sent you out there at the halftime report. And speaking of halftime, some really exciting games at halftime. This one, 28-7. There are some closer ones, though, too.
Yeah, they really are. We'll kind of rattle off some numbers here. Prescott, Moon Valley. Prescott 19, Moon Valley 14. That's in the second. Coconino 41, Mojave 34. That one's in the second.
Whoa, 75 points in the first half?
In the first half, and apparently
what's the record?
Coconino's record for first half points is 46, so they're close.
Oh, my goodness.
They got 41. They're close. We'll see if they can do that. We'll keep you updated on that. Bradshaw Mountain is losing right now to Marcos Deniza 19-13. That one's in the half. Flagstaff over Cortez right now 21-0, and then Cactus 35, Cactus Shadows 14 at the half.
Oh my goodness. Now Marcos Deniza ranked number 2 on Max Preps in the 4A division, just barely ahead of a Bradshaw Mountain team, and that'll be really interesting because they just barely beat Cactus, and then Mingus turned around and beat Cactus beat them the next week by a score of 35-28. Cactus 1-2, losing 2 close games, and then they turn around and take it out on Cactus Shadows, who to this point was one of 6 teams that was undefeated in 4A. Do you remember as we got to like week 7 last year in what was the extended 4A for football, there are 87 teams in the 4A division.
Right.
Now there's only 44. But remember, last year there was, in week 7, there was like 8 teams that were undefeated. Okay, week 3, there's only 6 teams that are undefeated. And I think that's going to be really interesting. Because of that, you've got teams like Mingus who are 1-2. You know what? Nowhere close to being out of the playoff picture.
Oh, no way.
None at all, because there isn't 9 teams or 12 teams that are still undefeated that are going to take those top spots. And a lot of these teams still play one another. So it'll be interesting if Bradshaw can upset Marcos Deniza, and that would be a huge upset, making them, giving them a loss, and Cactus Shadows on their way against the Cobras, losing their first game of the season.
Yeah, it's going to this is the time of the season where it really starts to pick up. We're starting region play here tonight. This is it for Mingus, and this is when that extra level of intensity kind of kicks in. Some teams maybe didn't start off quite as well as they hoped, and maybe they're not in the position that they hoped in order to make that playoff run down later on in the schedule. But this is where it really starts to get interesting. I mean, you have teams playing each other. You have teams like Bradshaw and Marcos Deniza, okay, where Mingus is like, oh, we got Bradshaw Mountain on our schedule. How are they going to play against a Marcos Deniza team? You start having teams look at on their schedule who beat who's losing to who, what kind of points did they put up against Bradshaw or Sunrise Mountain. It just gets really fun at this time of the year.
Absolutely. Coconino, who is 1-2, trying to beat Mojave, who would now still be winless. So Mojave putting up a fight. Mojave's put up 34 points in the first half, trying to avoid their first 0-4 season here, and that is Mingus's opponent next season. No, how about next Friday? Let's make it shorter, 7 days. Next Friday at home, Mingus will have Mojave. The Thunderbirds coming to town for homecoming. It'll be exciting here at LeeWilliams. The Mingus Marauders in front of the Volunteers by a score of 28-7. We will return for second half action coming up right after this.
Are you looking for a different approach to healthcare? A place where excellent care is combined with kindness and compassion? If so, welcome to Spectrum. At Spectrum, our approach to healthcare is positively different. From primary care to pediatrics, our staff is dedicated to one thing: you. As a leader in integrated care in Arizona, we treat the whole person because we think everyone deserves to feel better. Spectrum Healthcare, for mind, for body, for all of you.
This has been the Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Halftime Report. They're your dealer for the people. Located on 89A in Cottonwood or online at mattsays.yes.com. We'll return for exciting Mingus Marauder football second half action on KYBC AM 1600 and 96.3 FM or online at myradioplace.com right after this.
People always ask us, what does being a dealer for the people mean? Being for the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. That belief drives the entire team at Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to care more, to try harder, to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find or fix the perfect car for your life and budget. Whatever is keeping you from driving the car you want, we guarantee we'll try our best to help you. We're Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're a dealer for the people. Visit us at our store in Cottonwood or see all our deals at mattsays.yes.com.
Back here at LeeWilliams, the Mingus Marauders leading the Volunteers by a score of 28-7. Hey, want to say happy birthday to my niece, Sydney, down in the Chandler area, and say hello to Mom and Dad who are listening online at myradioplace.com. Looking across the field, well, a disappointing evening for Jordan Pollock. Turbo is actually sitting on the bench with his pads off, and he had that first reception, almost got into the end zone, and looked like somebody fell on the ankles wrong, and he is going to be a spectator for the rest of this one. But saw him walking out. There's no crutches.
No
crutches. So that's a good thing. That means that we'll be sore till Tuesday, and then back into practice real quickly.
Yeah, that was a really nice reception he had. He just went up to get that ball, and the defender just wrapped up his legs, and when they came down, they both almost fell to the ground together, and the defender, it looks like he landed on Pollock's ankles. I'm not sure exactly which one or if it was, what exactly the injury is, but it was good to see him walking. He came walking out of the locker room with his shoulder pads on, and once he got to the sideline, he took them off. But as you mentioned, no crutches, and a little bit of a limp, but nothing too major.
That's when the coach goes, hey, no, I need you for the other 6 games.
Right.
So have a seat there, bud. Well, the Mingus Marauders will be set to kick off here for the second half to get the second half underway. Once again, homecoming next week against the Mojave Thunderbird, who are in a juggernaut of an offensive battle against the Panthers from Coconino. Not expected. That's not what you expected to hear. 75 points in the first half. Wow.
And that's when you look at your schedule and you say, what's going on here? Okay, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
You start seeing teams performing maybe not how you thought they would perform against certain teams, and then it gets you all new things in your mind of what's going on in your schedule down in the coming weeks.
Any given Friday evening.
Any given Friday. That should be a movie.
Yeah, it should be. Sure. Myers, bunch formation, will pound it deep, sending the man back to about the 4-yard line. The Volunteers will return out to the 20, 22, captured, wrapped, and dropped at about the 25-yard line. And another Marauder a little slow to get up on the far side. That's Ruiz. And that is not an asset that you want to mess with out here today. So Ruiz is a little bit gimped. He's been sore for a good chunk of this season. And Juan is going to wander toward the sideline, take a break, as Mingus will play defense from the Volunteer 25-yard line. And here come the Volunteers. Mizone in the first half ended up 2 of 6 for 29 yards. They had 10 rushing yards. Mingus held the Volunteers to 39 yards. Scalf chases around the corner. Mingus then acquires the edge, and down with a short run is number 4 for the LeeWilliams squad, and that'll be the first run for Tyler Miner.
He'll
pick up 2.
I was going to say, who had a really great first half was the offensive line for the Marauders. I mean, we looked at some of the holes that they created for the running backs, and then on some of the passes, especially that one to Bradley Howard. I mean, Meyer had all the time in the world to step into that throw and deliver that down towards the goal line.
Tight formation, Skelf eats it up and throws the running back backward for a loss. Another tackle for a loss as Miner goes backward as they run to the strong side again, and Mingus able to sniff that one out. A loss of 3. And in the first half, Andrew Davis for the Volunteers ended up with 12 carries and 30 yards in the first half. And after this play, we'll see if we can get some of the Mingus Marauder first half stats up for you and get you up to date. 3rd down and 11. Trips to the near side, and they'll throw the screen to the inside. Mingus able to contain and take him down, and kind of a jersey tackle out there by Jimenez. The reception is good, but it goes for a loss of 1 on the screen attempt.
Yeah, that did not go the way the Volunteers hoped it would. I mean, Mingus just very disciplined play there. I mean, they had receivers, all sorts of receivers to the right side of the field. They go back with the screen to the left side of the field, and Mingus was not fooled at all. We talked about Scalp coming into tonight, 2 sacks. He's been in the backfield almost the entire first half. He's been playing really, really well here tonight, as has the just entire defense of the Marauders.
Punt formation, high snap again. Mingus is in, almost gets it. A punt wobbly to the near side. It'll take a bounce for the Volunteers and should have crossed into Mingus Marauder territory, but no. Remember The Price is Right? Do you remember that old show and the guy that would climb the mountain and you just didn't know where he was going to stop? I always visualize that when they're marking where the ball went out of bounds. So Mingus will have the ball at the 47-yard line of the Volunteers to start the first drive of the second half. In the first half, the Mingus Marauders from the quarterback position, Trey Meyer was 8 for 13, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. On the ground, he had 7 yards. Juan Ruiz had 33 yards, 6 carries, 2 touchdowns. Groth had 51 yards and a touchdown on 5 carries, 4 carries for Stabrith for 42 yards. Mingus had a total of 156 yards on the ground in the first half. Now they send Ruiz into motion. He'll turn around and lead block for Groth, who's got a lane. He'll come to the near side, running over a would-be tackler down to the 25-yard line. So 22 yards out of the gate for Jason Groth.
Well, Groth, they send Ruiz into motion. He puts on the brakes and becomes the lead blocker, as you mentioned, Jackie. And then Groth barreling through a defender, and then another one. He pushes back before falling out of bounds for a nice gain for the Marauders there. Groth continuing to run the ball here, coming out of the locker room.
No 100-yard rusher for the Mingus Marauders here in the first half. Groth is closest now with 73 rushing yards. Myers will take it, pitch it. Stabrith outside trying to find a corner as he'll get wrapped up after a short gain. Unable to beat the man to a corner, and that is a great open field tackle by the Volunteers. Stabrith has speed, and they kept him to 2.
Yeah, Stabrith there. Meyer was the one who was running that option and absolutely waited till the last second to pitch the ball to just draw that defender on the outside towards him. That way, by the time he pitched the ball out to Stabrith, there was nobody out there. And Stabrith picks up a very nice gain there. He was almost around that corner for even more.
2nd and 2 as the ball is inside the 25-yard line. Mingus will hand off. And a rumbling, stumbling, and staying on his feet. Enough for a first down. And I believe that was Groth once again, as he will pick up about 9 on the carry and get the ball inside of the 15-yard line down to the 13.
Yeah, you saw Groth. You saw the pile stop about maybe for a short yard gain, and then the pile moved, and then it stopped again, and then the pile moved, and you saw Groth fall forward out of that pile. So another hard run there, and we've seen multiple Marauders. You mentioned not a Marauder over 100 yards on the ground. It's because they're spreading the ball out.
Man in motion. They go off tackle right side. They'll try the right gap, and good blocking by the Mingus Marauder offensive line. All of a sudden, there were no red jerseys there, and Groth picks up 4 before he gets contact. That offensive line for Mingus, definitely underrated and do not get enough credit. I'll tell you, in practice every week, nobody works harder. Now the running backs are going to be really mad at me, but nobody works harder than the offensive line. Man in motion, and Myers looking to keep it himself, and ran into the guy with the red shirt. And a great tackle out there as Meyer goes backward. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Mingus, probably 3rd and 10 from about the 13-yard line.
Number 89, Marco Navardi again. He was just, it was almost the same play as Meyer was trying to draw him towards Meyer so he could pitch the ball on the outside, but number 89 for the Volunteers didn't give, and when Myers decided to keep the ball himself and try to run it, 89 was there to stop it.
Well, when you're trying to do the read man and the read man is in your grill, go in the opposite direction. Stabrith, a cut to the inside, and he finds pay dirt, except for the flag. So if it stands, a 13-yard carry for Stabrith for his first touchdown of the game, but they're going to toss the flag. A hold is the call downfield at approximately the 5-yard line. So that's going to bring up probably 3rd and 15 now. So the points come off the board. Well, they never really went on. And it'll bring up 3rd and 15 with the ball at the 15-yard line. So where are we? We are, at the 15-yard line. So third and about 13 from the 15-yard line, and that becomes a costly penalty, but Mingus will get another shot at it. Man in motion. Myers will pitch. Ruiz looking to cut. He's got a block. Inside, down to the 5, down to the 2, and they're going to mark him down at the 2. Is that enough for a first down? That's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. They go to their play, that pitch to the outside, success on it almost every single time they run it because of the outside blocking. Ruiz just follows those blocks, and he gets down towards the goal line, and they mark him just short, bringing up 4th down and, first down. Now they change it. Now they change it to a first down.
First down. All right, Mingus gets the first down, and that is rough for a defense. You had him held 3rd and long, and penalty brings it back, and then they pick up the first down inside the 2-yard line. Mingus, the pitch, Stabrith outside, cuts to the inside, finds his way to the end zone, and Stabrith gets the touchdown. So the senior able to find the pay dirt for his first touchdown of the game so far. Looks to cut inside. He had the outside. He had the inside. Chose to take the inside as Myers sets up for the extra point attempt.
As he's heading to the sideline, puts on the brakes, cuts it back inside, making that defender slip, and he walks into the end zone.
Breaks that good only could come from Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. I'll tell you.
Oh, that was a good one. That was nice.
I like that. Myers adds the extra point, and Mingus goes up 35-7. Coach Taylor, the head coach for the JV squad, coming through the press box here as he was up top taking a look at offenses, defenses. We'll return to LeeWilliams High School after this.
You'll get more miles for your money at Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. It starts with matching the right tire for you, your vehicle, and driving habits. And continues with expert brake, alignment, and warranty services to extend the life and performance of your vehicle. And to serve you better, we now offer King Cobra custom exhaust systems. Find out more about our nationwide warranty at Reese'sTire.com.
Mingus setting up for another kickoff out here, and was giving credit to the offensive line. Jordan Vinson, what a beast at center. And there's the kick by Myers, driving his man back and into the end zone, which is perfect because then I get to talk about the offensive line. Charles Hardy, one of the strongest kids I have seen in the Mingus Marauder football program. his squat records in the weight room, absolutely phenomenal. Kid doesn't say much. He's all business. When he says something, you better listen. No, honestly, when he's got something to say, you better listen. Carter Scott smiles all the time. Great kid, playing right tackle. Starting a sophomore on left tackle, Gabe Myers. I had the opportunity to coach this young man a couple of years ago when we were still in High Desert Youth Football, and just loved coaching him. Jordan Taylor, Coach Taylor's son. 4 years of Mingus Marauder football, his senior year at left guard. Just a great kid and a great student, as I understand. So, this offensive line just doesn't get enough credit out there. Defensively, the Mingus Marauders got the bookends as you got Shelf and Galloway, and the ball is thrown way early, and it will fall harmlessly to the ground. And the near side, the Volunteers coach jumping up and down in regards to maybe wanting a flag because there was contact, but the ball was anywhere near the receiver. However, the truth is there is not in high school football. It doesn't have to be catchable for the penalty to be thrown, or the flag to be thrown.
And I think the contact there might have been after the ball hit the ground. It wasn't catchable, as you mentioned, but it looked like that contact was a little after the ball was already past the receiver.
Two receivers to the far side, one back in the backfield for the Volunteers. Two receivers to the near side. They've got some height up there. They'll throw it quickly. Herrera, Colby Fanning makes him pay for going up for the high ball, and he needed to bring that one down. Colby Fanning gave him a padding out there of about 8 yards and then closed that gap quickly.
Yeah, he saw Herrera go up to try and get that high pass and just laid the hat on him, and that's what happens. That's the risk you run as a receiver when you go up for a ball like that. That was just outside of his grips, a little bit too high.
Spread again. Mingus will jump off. Had multiple white jerseys mixing in with the red, and that's going to move the ball ahead 5 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5, opening the playbook up for the coaching staff of the Volunteers. Ball at their own 25-yard line. If you're just joining us, third quarter action, 6:12 left to go. Mingus on top, 35-7 here in the third quarter. Volunteers with the ball at their own 25-yard line. 3rd and 5 now, as Mingus just commits its 6th penalty of the game. Quarterback takes the snap, hands it off toward the middle, trying the left-hand side, and a cloud of dust in about 3 yards brings the ball up to about the 28-yard line. 4th and short now will be the determination. Actually, they're going to give him no gain. He went sideways as much as he went forward. I thought he had progress out there. Davies with the carry and unable to pick up the first down. So 4th and 5 now. And the Volunteers set up in their their punt formation, a spread kind of punt formation, 3 men back. They snap the ball high in between the 3 men, almost blocked once again. A high punt. This time it takes kind of a Marauders bounce, and they're going to down it right at the 50-yard line. So my cohort here, whose eyeballs go right down the 50-yard line, you've got the perfect vision on this as Mingus will start from exactly midfield.
Exactly midfield, and not a bad place to start. Not a bad place to start your drive. How about this? A score out of 8-man football, Jackie. Listen to this. Baghdad 68, Anthem Prep 0. That's in the third quarter.
Baghdad's 8-man football program is tenacious. They have been ranked number 1, number 2 in 1A 8-man football for quite some time. Their nemesis, Pima, beat them in the championship game, beat them in the regular season, and then beat them in the championship game last year. Mingus with the ball, a run up the middle, gaining about a yard or so. Let's see who was carrying the ball on that one. It might have been Sabota. Yeah, Sabota, the junior, Nebraska, gets a half a yard. But yeah, 8-man football, 80-yard field, not as wide, and there just aren't enough players on the field. I tell you, it's for 11-man football people or people that are accustomed to it. It's a whole new experience. I'll tell you. So Sabota gets his first carry, and Zabala is out there playing quarterback for the Mingus Marauders. So a sophomore, Antoine, comes out, and he'll get sacked as he spins and moves and jives around, and will end up with a 4-yard sack, but a penalty flag thrown. So we'll see if there's whether they want the sack or a potential holding penalty, which is the call against the Mingus Marauders.
It's going to stay 3rd down here for the Mingus Marauders. Nice to see sophomore getting some work in there under center.
The future of Mingus football.
You know, that was so great about last year is with all the seniors and all the talent that was on the team last year. A lot of times, quite a few games, Mingus got out to such a big lead. You know, it's a little different here, but when you have that luxury, you can get some work in, and that makes the next year a little bit more easy with that transition.
There's the snap, run up the middle, breaking tackles, going through the middle of Sabota again, and he'll bring up a 3rd down and manageable as he'll get the ball at the 45-yard line. So 3rd and 5, a gain of 8, and that definitely is more workable. The JV squad this last game did not get an opportunity to play, and we'll tell you more about that as we go through the next play, as Mingus has got all sorts of different people in there. Oh, a 4th down, pardon me. Streck will punt, and it'll hit about the 10 and roll into the end zone for a touchback. So I hadn't seen him flip. It was 4th and 5, and Streck comes out to make the punt, and they'll bury the Volunteers deep, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. But the JV squad, all excited about playing LeeWilliams at home, and LeeWilliams unable due to injuries to some of their sophomores, unable to actually put together a JV team to play us. So the JV squad wins their first game of the year via forfeit, so the official score is 1-0. Who do you credit the point to? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Spread formation now as the Volunteers throw to the near side. Good pass. The big man, the tight end, spread out to the slot receiver position. Will pick up good yardage on that as number 9, Farron, gets another reception out there.
Marcos Deniza has added to their lead 26-13 over Bradshaw Mountain in the 3rd. Marcos Deniza 26, Bradshaw 13.
8-yard reception, first positive yards in the air for the Volunteers here in the second half. And the big man, number 8, with another reception, as that is his 2nd of the game, first of the first half. And they throw again, this time they try Herrera on the exact same pattern. And Bradley Howard out there playing a corner position for the Mingus Marauders. So let's see if we have got, who do we have out there? We have got Cody Merrow out there on the field for Mingus as he'll play a linebacker position. A lot of names that have played pretty much during the course of the game, but Merrow will be near side. A 3rd and 2, and they hand off, and Mingus swarms into the backfield and able to make the tackle very quickly. And McClanahan, one of the nicest kids you will ever see. Okay, McClanahan, big, huge boy, but I'll tell you what, that kid can dance. That kid can dance. I mean, he is a Dancing with the Stars kind of fool. So a 4th and 4 as they have -2 yards, a tackle for loss as Davis goes backward, and it looks like the Volunteers are going to go for it on 4th down. Mingus showing blitz. No, Mingus showing kitchen sink blitz is what they're showing out there. Volunteers may be looking to try to get the Marauders to jump off, and that was the play, and instead we get a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take a break. Mingus 2:09, 3rd quarter action, leading 35-7. We'll be back after this.
Since 1993, Rice Accounting has been assisting Verde Valley residents with their tax returns. A proud part of the National Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Rice Accounting can prepare all state and federal returns. They can file electronically or prepare paper returns. They're open year-round to assist you with personal and business taxes, quarterlies, payroll, and account services.
Please come on in to Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We're open year-round for all of your taxing needs. Thank you.
I want to thank longtime Mingus Marauder sponsor Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt for being a sponsor. And, of course, you know what? They have a Kingman location, too. I bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Here comes a punt from the Volunteers. Pacheco's going to chase it to the near side, and it will roll out of bounds and become a very good punt inside the 35-yard line. I want to thank Rock Zoo Screen Printing. And, by the way, you can tune into Brian James on KQST or Brad Miller on KVRD and listen in to see if they still have some tickets left. The Rock Zoo, for their 30th anniversary, gave us a slew of tickets, and they have tickets available they had tickets for the game on the 15th against the Dodgers, and they have tickets against the San Diego squad, the Padres, on the 30th. And you can win tickets on both of those stations. The Padres, that might be going for last place there, or third place. The end around goes for the Mingus Marauders, and scrambling downfield, he has got 20 yards. And then the ball is on the ground. We'll see if they called him down. Alex Nelson appeared to be running the ball on the pitch to the outside. Alex Nelson will pick up 19 yards on the carry. 24 yards on the carry. And we'll see if he was actually down before the ball came out. And it's hard to tell on screen. Can you tell? Yeah, if he was down before the ball was out.
I was trying to see. There's kind of a lot in there. We'll see as I want to thank John Stayed back there in the truck for this replay. See what we can see here. But a hard run, and sometimes at the end that's where you get in trouble with ball security, but just a hard run.
There's the snap. Zimbala's going to carry it himself and get wrapped up. The option didn't work out particularly well, and it'll go for no gain as the Mingus Marauders will bring it back to the line. Jordan Huey out there playing offense for Mingus. Colby Fanning out there, Zabata. Let's see who else is out there for Mingus. Of course, Link, but yeah, Link will come to the near side. So 2nd and 11, Zambala lost one. Jimenez on the move, a pitch coming to the near side, and running the ball for Mingus with a passion is going to be Colby Fanning. He'll pick up the lost one, and a 3rd and 7 ensuing from the Volunteers 37-yard line.
Colby Fanning, of course, before the first half ended on a 3rd and long, had a really nice run to pick up the first down and more that eventually, a couple plays later, led to a Marauders touchdown before half, as the clock is around 23 seconds here before we head into the fourth quarter. 20 seconds left in the third.
Mingus will get another play off, though, and Zimbala's going to hold it, change directions. He'll dance, he'll jump, he'll leap, he'll dive, and not make it. He'll be short. But what an incredible effort. He went back and forth, and I mean, that's a young man, a sophomore, been playing JV, and he gets to play Friday night. Okay, so all of a sudden you got all this energy as we come. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. Mingus leading 35-7, and we'll see what the sophomore cornerback can do with a 4th and 5 from the 35-yard line of the Volunteers when we come back.
Respected locally, trusted nationally. The Ledbetter Law Firm in Cottonwood has a professional team ready to help with personal injury, corporate law, and real estate. Licensed in multiple states, federal and tribal courts, the Ledbetter Law Firm is experienced in healthcare law, education law, and liquor licenses. Selected by lawyers and judges as one of Arizona's finest law firms, the Ledbetter Law Firm on Main Street in Old Town Cottonwood, online at ledbetterlawaz.com.
Cheerleading, tumbling, gymnastics.
We are Flip City Gym.
We have classes for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels.
Flip City Gym offers competitive co-ed cheerleading with world champion coaches.
Ask about tumbling and gymnastics.
Or our health and fitness-based academic preschool.
The only one of its kind in northern Arizona.
Enjoy open gym Fridays and Saturdays. Stop by for your free class or find out more at flipcitygym.org.
Back here, Mingus Marauders at the 35-yard line with 4th and 5. Decide to go for it. Colby Fanning tries the left-hand side and runs into his blockers, but the flag is probably going to bring it back. And the hold is called, and the holding flag sits at the 37-yard line. And they are going to mark it back to the 45-yard line. So, Mingus now with a 4th and 14, and will probably punt as Streck, the backup punter for the Mingus Marauders, is in the backfield. And going back for a potential return is Eric Peptiet, one of the wide receivers, a senior for the Volunteers. There's the snap. Streck's got a great snap, kicks it high, short, and it takes a don't know which way I want to go bounce across the field. It's going to end up being about an 18-yard punt, and the Volunteers will have pretty good field position at the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. Could have been a heck of a lot worse.
Yeah, it definitely could have, and we'll see LeeWilliams still trying to get something going on offense. They've only put up 7 points on the board, and 6 of those was from that pick 6 in the first half. Update Bradshaw. Bradshaw scored, however, Marcos Deniza still leads that one 26-20. Just over 9 minutes left in the third quarter in that game.
So far, the Mingus Marauder defense has held the Volunteers to 57 yards of offense from the line of scrimmage. The senior Mazzone in the backfield, pointing to his fullback which way he wants to go. No, he's going to throw downfield, and throws downfield, and not necessarily an advisable throw. You had 3 linebackers out there, all kind of surrounding Paul Giglio, and I haven't seen or heard him called here in pretty much the second half, but I'm glad he's out there. I was afraid that he was actually hurt. I thought he was injured because I hadn't seen him on the field.
Right, well, they were we were talking about in the first half how they like to change up the backs and kind of rotate them in, and then after that, really, we didn't see much of him at all until just this last play.
1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left-hand side. Manzone looking to throw. Mingus in pursuit. They throw across the field. Intended receiver is Santos. And Mingus had it pretty well covered out there by Jimenez. He dove for the ball, but it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 with the ball at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, just a nice defense there. You also had Streck in there, who's in good position to make it a very difficult throw for the quarterback. I mean, trying to squeeze it into a tight little window, especially when you got a little bit of pressure in your face from the Marauders' defensive line, it just makes it difficult to squeeze that ball into a narrow window.
It is hard to throw the ball downfield when Trevor Galloway is in your grill. They do, and the intended receiver, number 9, and that is Farron, the tight end, and coming through like a freight train out there. Let's see, is that number 22? For the Mingus Marauders?
Yeah, you had Justin Link and Charles Furry back there.
Mingus making some penetration into the backfield. Brings up a 4th and 10. And so with 11:25 left to go here in the game, Mingus a comfortable lead, 35-7. And they'll force the Volunteers to punt once again. A low snap this time, and they're looking to fake it. Mingus is going to read it pretty well, make a missed block, a first down, and the big man for the Volunteers, the punter, picks up 13 as he rumbles and stumbles.
Whew, man, talk about making a lot out of nothing. Michael Bathauer, 6'1", 200 pounds. As it wasn't a great snap, and he just decides to take it down. We're not sure if that was a fake to begin with, but he makes the most of it and picks up the first down for LeeWilliams.
Well, that's the longest rush from the line of scrimmage. And in order to do it, because he's the punter, he had to run 28 yards to get 14.
Double what he needed.
Yeah, no kidding out there. So the drive continues out here for the Volunteers as they hand off the ball to a more typical running back, and Giglio is met in the backfield. They will give him forward progress for -2.
Forward progress for -2.
I know, that didn't sound right, did it? He's only got 3 carries in the game. 3 carries for 0 yards. So a frustrating evening for Giglio. Offset eye, strength to the outside. They're going to pitch, and he'll cut it back in. Trevor Galloway cuts down the gap, and a great open field tackle for the Mingus Marauders leading tackler as he keeps that pitch out to just 3 yards, bringing up 3rd and we'll call it 9.
Galloway just continuing to play hard. I mean, what a game he had last week. He was our defensive player last week, moving to a different position. They put him back at the linebacker position last week, and he really just took control of that defense and played extremely well. Still flying to the ball here with 9:50 left.
You know, Ruiz was almost in on every tackle, so it seemed. So we were watching films last week. Quarterback looking to throw. He's got a wide receiver open, and he will surrender himself to the ground. Number 22 will still be a yard short, though, and can't quite get to the sticks as he gets to the Mingus Marauder 40-yard line. Or pardon me, gets to the 50-yard line, 4th and 1. And do you think they're going to go for it?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, do you put your punter back there to run the ball? I mean, after what he did last 4th down when he lined up to punt.
No kidding, 200-yard running back, huh? Now they're going to go to a wishbone, and they've got 3 men in the backfield. They'll hand it off. They'll pick up the 1st down, and bouncing around the corner is Giglio. Giglio dives forward to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back 1st downs for the Volunteers here as they wander their way back into Mingus Marauder territory.
Just lowering the shoulder and delivering an offensive blow to the defense, and really that's what got him the 1st down there, was just that contact at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to break through that, break the tackle, and pick up the 1st down.
8 yards on the carry, needed 1, got 7 extra, and the ball at the 42-yard line, maybe 41-yard line. Back to the wishbone they go, give it to 3rd back, and Giglio gets eaten up. Jimenez is out there, Mero is out there, and let's see what other Marauders did not get in on the tackle.
We had number 22 back there as well for Mingus with the good penetration. You had 3 or 4 Marauders in the backfield, really before the running back even got the ball, and continuing with that pressure for the Marauders defense.
Double tight wishbone. Almost completely gives it away that you're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
You know, you could get a tight end out somewhere, but now they're going to go to a more spread offense. Quarterback drops back, throws the ball across the field. Pick play works for the Volunteers, and the big man stumbles downfield as Cody Farron will pick up the 1st down and then some deep into Mingus Marauder territory.
Yeah, they just hit Farron coming across the middle and in stride, and once he got that ball and received it, he was still running and ended up picking up the 1st down. A nice pass, a nice catch, and a nice run after the catch.
22 yards on the reception, and a Volunteer is down on the field. And that's one thing the Volunteers do not need, is any more injuries out here, as he appears to be in some pain.
That's Farron.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're going to give this young man a little bit of privacy, and we're going to take a quick break here from LeeWilliams. We'll return and check on this young man from the Volunteers. Sophomore, 6'2". Hopefully he's going to be okay when we get back.
Are you looking for a different approach to healthcare? A place where excellent care is combined with kindness and compassion? If so, welcome to Spectrum. At Spectrum, our approach to healthcare is positively different. From primary care to pediatrics, our staff is dedicated to one thing: you. As a leader in integrated care in Arizona, we treat the whole person because we think everyone deserves to feel better. Spectrum Healthcare, for mind, for body, for all of you.
A low snap forces the quarterback to fall on the ball, and a 23-yard forward play to Heron works out, followed up by a negative 4-yard bad snap.
Well, before we went to break, we took a break because number 9, Farron, for the LeeWilliams Volunteers, after a nice reception and run, got injured. He hobbled off the field, and he's on the sideline. They're stretching out that left leg. Maybe a cramp. Hopefully nothing more.
Shotgun once again. Quarterback creeps forward, takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got pressure, throws the ball over the middle, and a late flag on Ruiz as he wrestled the receiver down to the ground. And definitely contact there. Doesn't even attempt to fake. Great penetration by the Mingus Marauders in the throw downfield. Ruiz actually ran into the receiver. I think the receiver probably stopped in front of him to try to come back to the ball maybe.
Yeah, that ball was a little underthrown. He was looking for number 6, Aaron Santos, downfield near the goal line. Underthrown, and maybe Santos was coming back for the ball and ran into Ruiz. And Ruiz, the way it looked like it at the end, it looked like Ruiz almost tackled him. But maybe they just ran into each other. Anyways, Ruiz gets flagged for the pass interference.
That's going to set up the Volunteers at 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, and the offense has not visited this territory against Mingus yet so far in the game. Wishbone offense out there, double tight. They're going to hand it off to Giglio. Giglio finds a hole as the little back gets the ball inside the 7-yard line. He's down close to about the 5. We'll see where they're going to mark that. And they're going to put the ball at about the 7-yard line. He found his way through the smallest of holes out there, I swear.
He did. He's a shifty little guy. Gets small, gets skinny, trying to get through that line.
That's his 5th carry here in the second half. 1st and goal from about the 7-yard line. One man in the backfield. Mazzone looking to throw. Looks to the left, puts the ball up, and it is caught, but is it in the end zone? It is!
What a catch there.
Coming down the ball is number 6 as he is in the back of the end zone.
Aaron Santos rolling out to his left, the quarterback, and he ends up putting this ball up within 4 Marauders, and Santos gets up there and has the strong hands to bring it down for a touchdown. A nice pass and nice reception for number 6, Aaron Santos, the sophomore wide receiver.
2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass for Mazzone on the night. And it comes with 6:20 left to go in the 4th quarter, making it 35-13. Extra point attempt underway. There is the kick, and it is towed through for an extra point. So 35-14. The Volunteers will have a kickoff coming up when we return after this.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
Back here in Kingman, Arizona, the Mingus Marauders leading the LeeWilliams Volunteers by a score of 35-14. And LeeWilliams scoring here in the 4th quarter. You wonder whether or not the onside kick is underway, trailing by 21 with a little close to 6.5 minutes left to go.
Yeah, you got to think it was definitely discussed while we were taking a timeout. A couple score updates. Marcos Deniza scores 32 over Bradshaw, who has 20, 32-20. Marcos Deniza and Prescott losing to Moon Valley 22-19 in the 3rd.
Oh my gosh. Kickoff towed down here. Bradley Howard looking for a gap. Tries the outside. The speedster is run down from behind at about the 22-yard line. And another volunteer down on the ground. Okay, good. He's going to pop back up. Bradley Howard gets an opportunity to return on the varsity level and tries to go across the field to get to the far side of the field. Mingus now with the ball at about the 22-yard line. And we'll see some sophomores get some work out here. See who is on the line for the Mingus Marauders. And Gabe Myers is still out there for Mingus. So is most of the starting offensive line. And let's see, it looks like Taylor gets the quarterback duties. And we'll start off with a false start. So that is well, Mingus is putting together quite a streak of penalties. 9 penalties in the game for the Mingus Marauders. And that 5 will move them within their own red zone. Line of scrimmage now becomes the 18-yard line. 6:05 left to go. The clock stopped with the penalty. Mingus will put Link to one near side. And it looks like Chaz Taylor will take the snap and run it himself, try the left-hand side, and pick up 1, maybe 2. Let's give him 2 on the carry, 2nd and 13.
And that keeps the clock rolling. Now we're under 6 minutes left in this ball game. And that's what Mingus is going to try and do on this drive. As long as they, within striking distance for a first down on the ground, you got to think they're going to do that to keep this clock moving. But right now, still backed up deep into LeeWilliams territory.
Taylor takes the snap, looking to take the snap, and he'll hand it off. Trying the left-hand side, and Mingus will pick up another couple as they follow Taylor out there. And running the ball is going to be Colby Fanning. Sophomore to sophomore with the exchange, and give him 1, 2, where are you going to stop? 3, 4. How about that? And so 3rd and 8 as Fanning picks up 4. So 3rd and 8, man in motion, and the misdirection goes for a first down and more as he gets across the 45-yard line, the 50, the 40. They gather him up and run him out of bounds and drive him into the 30-yard marker, and they're going to knock him out of bounds. Colby Fanning with a huge gain out there. I think that was Fanning. No,
that was
wasn't.
Alec Nelson.
Yes, Nelson with another big gainer, pardon me, as the new line of scrimmage, the 33-yard line, and Mingus changes the field position quickly out there.
Yeah, with one big run by Alex Nelson, all of a sudden Mingus in on the positive side for them of the 50-yard line. And nice, another hard run there by Nelson, and that keeps the clock rolling. That's the most important thing here.
33 yards on it as the pitch comes to the near side. Mingus with a new runner, and going forward, following his blocks, Jimenez gets the carry out there, and that'll be his first carry of the night. Might be enough for a first down.
Yeah, nice run there by Jimenez, just taking his time, letting his blocks develop, following the lead blockers that he has. And wherever those guys went, he went, and that led to a very, very nice gain for Jimenez and the Marauders.
So I'm running out of space on my scorecard, so to speak. How about that? Menez gets his first carry of the game. Give him 10, and they call it 2nd and short, but I can't give him 9 5/8. So we'll go 2nd and 8. Well, will you stop moving that marker? So now it's 2nd and about 1.5 feet. Mingus with the ball near the red zone, and they will go the opposite direction. Nelson will pick up the first down, hang on to the ball, and get down to the 20-yard line. So give him 4 on the carry, and Nelson with a little misdirection will pick up the first down.
Yeah, nice cutback by Nelson to the middle of the field to pick up that first down.
If you are just joining us, Mingus now with 305 rushing yards in the game. The lead 35-14 over the Volunteers on the road in Kingman, Arizona. Fourth quarter action, just under 3 minutes left to go. Chaz Taylor in the ball game, takes the snap, falls forward, and was following his blocks, had some room, and I think he may have tripped over a lineman or a running back coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, I think he tripped over number 16 for the Marauders, Nelson, who was actually trying to get out in front of him to pick up a few blocks, but ended up getting tangled up and went down to the ground.
Alec Nelson gets credit for the block and the tackle. All right, that's how you get in the stat book. You know, you keep shooting, keep missing, get your own rebound, right? Yeah, that's along the same lines. Handoff up the middle and struggling forward for a couple. And a flag comes down as Gabe Myers appears to have pushed somebody downfield a little bit. I don't know if they called it a hold or if it was extracurricular activity. So the run up the middle would bring down third and about sixth. Instead, we have a personal foul against Mingus. They threw it right at the feet of Gabe Myers, and Marino for the Volunteers ended up falling backwards, so I wonder if he was the recipient of the personal foul. So that is going to bring up most likely a second and you can stop anytime, 22. Second and 22. No, pardon me. Third and 22. And Mingus racks up their 10th penalty of the game. Third and 22. Chaz Taylor will flip it out. Jimenez finds the ball on the ground. It goes behind him. And the Volunteers may have it. And it appears as though, let's see, did you see a call? Did the Volunteers have that? No, the offense still staying out there. So Jimenez able to get his own fumble, the pitch behind him, and he tried to pull it out of his right rear pocket. It'll end up being a loss of 6 for Jimenez on the play.
Under 2 minutes now left in this fourth quarter, 1:30 on the clock.
Mingus with wholesale changes out there. How about that 0 got into the game? Number 70 for the Mingus Marauders, and they're going to bring out different personnel on the line. No, we're going to take a break. And with that break, we're going to take a break. 1:23 left to go. Mingus cruising with the ball and the lead, 35-14 at LeeWilliams. We'll be back after this. Back here at LeeWilliams, Kingman. I wonder what the elevation is because Myers is going for a 47-yard field goal attempt. The 44, actually, the spot of the kick is going to be the 44-yard line. It is up and not quite the distance and off to the left. It would have been a 54-yard field goal attempt. And Coach Young gives Myers an opportunity, and he had the leg. Oh, well, not quite. He was very close to having the leg for that, but I've not seen us go for a 54-yard field goal attempt.
Yeah, his long last year was 43 yards. He definitely had the leg for 43 yards, and he almost had the 50-yard leg there too, but got to give him a shot, you know? Kid's got a leg.
54-yard field goal attempt. Boy, that would have made the highlight reel, wouldn't it?
It would have, for sure. I mean, that is, yeah. For somebody who can't kick, that's unfathomable right there.
Yeah, no kidding. For what Myers can kick. You're talking about you and
I'm talking about myself. I'm not sure about you. You might very well be a good kicker. I don't know.
You know what? Four scored, I don't know how many years ago. Maybe so. Double tight formation for the Volunteers. Almost get the Marauders to jump, and the ball is on the ground again. Mingus may have come up with it. We'll see if they give the ball to Mingus. Yep, Nelson comes up with it. The snap goes to the ground, and Mazzone reaches down to get it and actually attempts to fall down on it. Nelson beats him to it. So Nelson, with a fumble recovery, gives the ball back to the Marauders at the 14-yard line with 1:08 left to go.
I believe that was actually Enzo Marino who was there at the quarterback position for the Volunteers, and he went down, as you mentioned, to pick that one up, and the Marauders were back there to recover it before he could actually get a good grip on it.
Holy cow, that was quick. Nelson is fast. He is a very quick young man and plays with passion, and that's what Marauder football is about. And well, it looks like the victory formation for the Mingus Marauders, and Chaz Taylor gets the honors as he comes out and puts the knee to the ground, and it looks like the Volunteers are not going to attempt to stop it. So this one's going to be history here soon as we're approaching 50 seconds, and the Mingus Marauders will roll out of Kingman with a 35-14 victory, and will go 1-0 in the Grand Canyon region, the new revised 4A Grand Canyon region.
Yeah, great way to start off. A good game here for the Marauders, and really nice to see some new guys getting some work out there, getting some game time, some sophomores getting plays, running the ball, got a couple of new quarterbacks in there as well, and that's going to pay off down the road here, if not, of course, years down the line as well. So approaching 20 seconds, this one's going to run out, and this one's in the books.
Well, the Mingus Marauders victorious. They'll go 2-2. The Volunteers will slide to 2-2. And we've got all sorts of highlights. We've got stats coming up with our post-game report. Here, once again, the final score, according to the Park Center Recreation scoreboard, 35-14. Mingus now goes 2-2 and 1-0 in the section. We'll be back after this.
Our whole team is here to help you get the most out of each workout.
Here at the Cottonwood Recreation Center.
They're here. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General 4, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, connecting you like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $2,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Cottonwood Motorsports, located on Route 260 and Western Drive.
You'll get more miles for your money at Reese's Tire and Automotive Tire Pros. It starts with matching the right tire for you, your vehicle, and driving habits. And continues with expert brake, alignment, and warranty services to extend the life and performance of your vehicle. And to serve you better, we now offer King Cobra custom exhaust systems. Find out more about our nationwide warranty at Reese'sTire.com.
Since 1993, Rice Accounting has been assisting Verde Valley residents with their tax returns. A proud part of the National Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, Rice Accounting can prepare all state and federal returns. They can file electronically or prepare paper returns. They're open year-round to assist you with personal and business taxes, quarterlies, payroll, and account services.
Please come on in to Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We're open year-round for all of your taxing needs. Thank you.
For 30 years, Roxu screen printers have provided Northern Arizona with clean, crisp, quality screen printing. They work with you to make the right choices in creating the right artwork and message to put forth your best image. Choose from brand name products and even fashion-forward designs, including caps, tees, sweatshirts, polos, and jackets. Make Roxu your choice for work and sports uniforms, workwear, resort wear, and more. Find out more at rokzootees.com. Roxu screen printers in Cottonwood, where clothing comes to rock.
People always ask us, what does being a dealer for the people mean? Being for the people is a simple idea. We believe everyone deserves to drive a nicer, newer car. That belief drives the entire team at Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to care more, to try harder, to work smarter. We're dedicated to helping you find or fix the perfect car for your life and budget. Whatever is keeping you from driving the car you want, we guarantee we'll try our best to help you. We're Oxendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're a dealer for the people. Visit us at our store in Cottonwood or see all our deals at mattsays.yes.com.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
Here in Kingman, home of the LeeWilliams Volunteers, and the Mingus Marauders victorious, go 1-0 in the section, 2-2 on the season, and able to kind of even up the points for and points against with a 35-14 victory over the Volunteers. Jackie Bessler, Kyle Benedict along with you. And first quarter, Mingus really took advantage and jumped out on the Volunteers. Ruiz ended up with 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Link, his first receiving touchdown in the first half. The Volunteers, a pick 6 puts them on the board and ends up being the only score they would have in the first half. And the Mingus Marauders able to score one more time in the first half. A 1-yard burst by Groth, his first touchdown of the game. And at halftime, it was 28-7. Mingus was pretty much in control. And taking advantage, third quarter action, Mingus would score. Stabrith gets the 2-yard touchdown run for the Mingus Marauders. Could he go outside? He could go outside. No, he's going to go inside and get the touchdown and still stay on his feet. The extra point by Myers was good, and Mingus led 35-7. That would be the last point the Mingus Marauders would score in the game. Came with close to 6.5 minutes left to go. A 7-yard toss as Mazzone finds Santos in the back of the end zone, surrounded by white shirts, and he goes up and comes down with it. An Aaron Rodgers down the field kind of throw for the young man from LeeWilliams, and that was the first offensive score for the LeeWilliams squad here tonight. So LeeWilliams hosts the Mingus Marauders, the perennial Grand Canyon region victor. New second year with seniors, new to the Grand Canyon region. Wow, this is kind of our new school, if you will, kind of a sophomore, if you will, to the Grand Canyon region, and I think they held their own.
Yeah, no doubt. And if anything, I mean, we saw until the very end when Mingus lined up in the victory formation, we saw the Volunteers playing hard all the way till the end. I mean, at halftime, we talked about it. Marauders had a couple interceptions, and we were saying, okay, LeeWilliams is going to try to find a way to get back in this game, get the momentum, and they just kept putting up a fight, but the Marauders' defense held in there. The offense continued to march down the field, but in terms of LeeWilliams and this team versus what we saw last year, you got to really like the improvement and be excited for the future of the Volunteers.
Yeah, the brand new head coach out here, starting to work with new traditions, and I think he's got something to work with. Really wish that the Mingus JV squad and the LeeWilliams JV squad would have had an opportunity to match up so that we could see what future battles were going to be in a couple of years. Mingus had an opportunity to play quite a few sophomores that got to be on the field and get a little bit of time, and that is so crucial and key when the understudies and the sophomores can come out and get some real play time on the field, and that just gains confidence and also gives some of your other players an opportunity to get off the field without injury. A game where you don't want you don't want to be driving away from Kingman with too many ice bags attached to your players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a 3-hour drive. You start running out of ice. It starts melting. But, no, you're right. Getting the sophomores time
Stopping Williams.
is getting the sophomores some time in there in game situations is really huge because you never know what's going to happen down the line. I mean, you might be in a close game with a very physical team, and it's a physical matchup, and you might have to give some of your guys, whether it's running backs, maybe your quarterback on the defensive side of the ball, your linebacker, just some guys some breathers, and knowing what you have and that the players second and third string behind your starters, knowing that they had some time early on in the season, some game time and some snaps under their belt. As a coach, I would have to think that gives you a little bit more of a peace of mind that you have those options, you know what you have, and for the players, I mean, how exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back for our post-game show is Coach Bob Young is on the TV. Want to know where? It is Cable 1 Channel 52 and Sunlink Channel 2. You can see for yourself. Visit VerdeValleyTV.com for all sorts of times of rebroadcasts of this particular game. When we come back, we're going to update scores around the league, everything that we've got through our awesome staff in the truck. I'll tell you that. They've kept us up to date. We'll go through individual stats when we come back. To Lee Williams after this.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. If you're on the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find their selection extensive and their sales team professional and courteous. You can also count on excellent after-sales service. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet on Highway 260 next to Walmart in Cottonwood.
Are you looking for a different approach to healthcare? A place where excellent care is combined with kindness and compassion? If so, welcome to Spectrum. At Spectrum, our approach to healthcare is positively different. From primary care to pediatrics, our staff is dedicated to one thing: you. As a leader in integrated care in Arizona, we treat the whole person because we think everyone deserves to feel better. Spectrum Healthcare, for mind, for body, for all of you.
Cheerleading, tumbling, gymnastics.
We are Flip City Gym.
We have classes for boys and girls of all ages and skill levels.
Flip City Gym offers competitive co-ed cheerleading with world champion coaches.
Ask about tumbling and gymnastics.
Or our health and fitness-based academic preschool.
The only one of its kind in northern Arizona.
Enjoy open gym Fridays and Saturdays. Stop by for your free class or find out more at flipcitygym.org.
Taylor Waste has been voted the #1 residential garbage service 13 years in a row in Cottonwood and 9 years in a row in Sedona.
Why? Because Taylor Waste always offers dependable and efficient garbage service and clean, eco-friendly curbside recycling and positive customer service.
Taylor Waste offers a separate recycling container, and our recycling program is clean rather than commingled with garbage.
To start service, call your locally owned Taylor Waste, dedicated to providing service tailored to your needs.
Respected locally, trusted nationally. The Ledbetter Law Firm in Cottonwood has a professional team ready to help with personal injury, corporate law, and real estate. Licensed in multiple states, federal and tribal courts, the Ledbetter Law Firm is experienced in healthcare law, education law, and liquor licenses. Selected by lawyers and judges as one of Arizona's finest law firms, the Ledbetter Law Firm on Main Street in Old Town Cottonwood, online at ledbetterlawaz.com.
Back here at LeeWilliams, Kingman, Arizona. We got quite a travel home, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
We do. Kyle Benedict, Jackie Bessler, Mingus Marauders victorious. They took it off the board already. 35-14 here at LeeWilliams. Going through some of the individual stats, Mazzone, the quarterback for the Volunteers, ended up 7 for 16 here tonight, 74 yards, and ended up with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions on the game. And overall, some exchanges with the center that had some trouble. Even the exchanges to the punter had some trouble out here. And I know that's one thing that the Volunteers are definitely going to be working on. 30 carries here today for the Volunteers, 17 yards. Mingus definitely kept them going backward, especially in the quarterback position. Leading rusher with 28 yards, Andrew Davis, number 16 for the Volunteers. But the leading receiver, who I thought had a pretty darn good game, number 9, which for the Volunteers, had 3 receptions for 58 yards, and that's Farron, the tight end. Big boy running down the field and actually made some space for himself out there on the field, and I thought he had a pretty decent game. So Mingus holding the Volunteers to 97 yards of offense from the line of scrimmage. Reversely, Mingus had 300 yards on the ground. No 100-yard runner either. 300 yards on the ground, no 100-yard runner. 7 yards for Myers, actually 3 yards on 2 carries altogether. Juan Reese had a couple of touchdowns on the ground, 7 carries for 46 yards. Jason Groth, 8 carries, 88 yards. I love that because it averages exactly 11. Had a touchdown in the game. Zabala had the opportunity to cover, to run the ball a couple of times, actually kind of scrambled. 3 carries for 72 yards out there for Alex Nelson. When he had his opportunity, he burst through and forward. Colby Fanning had a couple of carries for Mingus here this evening, 3 of them actually, as he gets 31 yards. And Zabota had a couple of carries for 11 yards. Receiving wise, kept trying to get the ball to Trevor.
Yeah, he did.
Kept trying to get the ball to Trevor Galloway. Spent almost an entire drive trying to get the ball to Trevor Galloway and unable to connect with them. Pollock early in the game at a 22-yard reception that set up the Mingus Marauders for a touchdown and then departed the game. Justin Link had a 5-yard reception for a touchdown. Growth a 53-yard reception. But Ruiz, how about this? 4 receptions, 83 yards, definitely puts himself in the bid opportunity for player of the game, as did a pretty decent game for Trey Meyer, other than a couple of interceptions. Underthrew the ball a little bit, but still had 207 passing yards out there, 8 for 13, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, and Ruiz averaging 20.7 yards per reception. 507 yards total offense for the Mingus Marauders. Not bad at all. Now, this is where it becomes kind of hard because you've got contributions from 15 different directions. Who are you going to go with for player of the game?
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one. But when you talk about not one single running back with 100 yards, but you have 300 rushing yards total of offense, I think you go with the offensive line. I mean, creating those holes you saw a number of times. Trey Meyer back there, who had a good game in the air. Other than a couple interceptions, it was great to see them move the ball in the air. But that offensive line gave him time when he needed it and created those holes, and just all the way till the end. Even some of the guys who got in there later on in the game, they were just putting in the work and getting it done in the trenches, and that's what really, I think, kept the momentum for Mingus on offense, was just that push that they were getting at the offensive line. So I got to go with the O-line.
You know what? Jordan Vincent, the center, anchors that offensive line for the Mingus Marauders. When you saw him on defense, the few opportunities he had, he looked like a caged animal that got loosed, honestly. You got Taylor. Taylor to one side. You got Charles Hardy, one of the hardest working offensive linemen in probably all of high school football, as your guard positions. Gabe Myers stepping up as a sophomore, developing into quite an offensive line for the Mingus Marauders. And Mr. Smiley, Carter Scott on the far side as the right tackle. So great job to the offensive line. I mean, I really think they played exceptionally well. Defensively had contributions from everywhere. We had Stabrith with an interception. We had a couple of fumble recoveries out there for the Mingus Marauders. I know that Ruiz had an interception, Nelson had a fumble recovery, but you know what I'm going to go with is Streck.
Okay.
Kendra Streck, a sophomore out there playing for the most part middle linebacker for most of the game, and the young man came through and was busting up plays and did it with power, authority, confidence, and no fear.
No fear at all. I mean, how many times were we calling his name in the backfield for tackles for losses? I mean, he was just all over the place, and he was just disrupting anything offensively that they were trying to do, whether it was dropping back to pass, he was getting his hands up, he was after the quarterback, but those running backs had to have just, once they saw him, I mean, it was almost every time they were getting the ball, there was Marauders getting pressure from all over the place on the defense, but Streck was back there just more often than not and was playing hard. You could just tell. You could just see it out there on him, that aggressiveness and that intensity that he had all night long.
Homecoming comes up next week, and from Kingman we'll almost make it there in time. Next week, the Mojave Thunderbirds, who are in a shootout with the Coconino Panthers right now, over 100 points in that game, and they will be coming to visit the Mingus Marauders for homecoming. So please make plans to attend homecoming next week at Mingus Union High School. Well, we're going to wrap this one up, and it has been a wild week of high school football. The Mingus Marauders moving to 2-2. The Volunteers falling to 2-2. Our final score here from Kingman, Arizona: Mingus 35, the Volunteers 14. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.